Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited because in today's reading, we are diving deep into your next significant connection, like an in-depth love reading. So, let's see who's coming your way. Now remember, this is a general reading, so it might not resonate with everyone, and that's totally okay. So what makes this reading special? We're not just scratching the surface. We're really digging in, trying to see the potential, the challenges, all that good stuff, to give you some guidance on what's coming. This reading is timeless, so whenever you're watching this, the message is meant for you. Okay, so for our piles today, we have 4 beautiful crystals to choose from. First up, we have the ruby palm stone for harmonizing. This pile is all about igniting passion, taking a deep dive into shared desires, so, juicy stuff. Next, we have the Amazonite pyramid for centering, and this is focused on building bridges, creating that strong foundation for lasting growth. Then we have the agate moon for transformative energy, which is all about embracing change, releasing the past, and welcoming the new. Finally, we have the Jasper star for balancing, and this one is about finding harmony, weaving together independence and togetherness, finding that sweet spot. So go ahead and take a moment, pause the video if you need to, and just see which crystal you're most drawn to. Trust your intuition here, there's no pressure. It's totally okay if you're drawn to more than one pile, or if you need to check them all out to see what resonates. Now, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and make a wish for clarity and guidance as you choose your pile. Okay, you got this. Okay, hello there, my friend. Ruby palm stone, huh? This crystal is all about harmonizing, and that really sets the stage for what we're diving into today. With our theme being igniting passion, a deep dive into shared desires. Think of this reading as a way to find that perfect balance in your love life, where your passions and someone else's mesh together beautifully. So let's see what the cards have to say, shall we? All right, wow, the 10 of Pentacles right off the bat. Okay, so the 10 of Pentacles is all about long-term security, family, legacy, that kind of vibe. It's like the ultimate picture of having it all, It's not just about money, even though money is definitely part of it, let's be real. It's more about a sense of belonging, feeling deeply rooted, and building something that lasts. With this card showing up first, I'm getting the sense that you're craving that kind of stability in your love life, that you're not just looking for a fling. You want something real, something that you can build a future on, maybe even a family or a shared home, something that feels truly secure and abundant. Think about what that looks like for you, really. What does having it all mean in terms of your relationship goals? Is it the white picket fence and 2.5 kids? Or is it something totally different? Maybe it's about creating a chosen family with deep bonds of love and support, or building a business together with your partner, or just traveling the world together, knowing that you always have each other's backs, What does ultimate security feel like to you? This card is saying that is absolutely within your reach, that kind of long-term fulfillment is something you're capable of creating. But it's not just going to magically appear, right? It takes work, it takes commitment, and it takes finding someone who shares your vision for the future. Someone who's on the same page as you when it comes to building something lasting. And I'm also seeing here, and I don't know why I'm getting this, but there's a sense of, family approval being important to you, or at least the idea of family approval. Maybe you come from a family where tradition is really valued, or maybe you've just always dreamed of having that kind of close-knit family dynamic, where everyone gets along and supports each other, It's almost like finding someone who fits into your family dynamic is just as important as finding someone who you're deeply in love with. Which, yeah, that can be tricky. But the 10 of Pentacles is saying that it is possible. But hey, here's the thing. Don't get so caught up in the idea of the perfect family or the perfect life that you forget to actually enjoy the journey, Don't put so much pressure on yourself or your partner to live up to some unrealistic ideal that you end up missing out on the beautiful moments that are happening right now. The 10 of Pentacles is a beautiful card, but it's important to remember that it's a goal, not a guarantee. And getting there requires taking things one step at a time, focusing on building a strong foundation of love, trust, and mutual respect. So, yeah, dream big, but don't forget to enjoy the little things along the way. Okay, so, that's the 10 of Pentacles, the big picture, the long-term vision. But how do you actually get there, right? Well, that's where Temperance comes in. Oh, Temperance, such a beautiful card. Temperance is all about balance, harmony, finding the middle ground, It's about blending energies, mixing things together in the right proportions to create something even better than the individual parts. Seeing this card right after the 10 of Pentacles, I'm getting the sense that, achieving that long-term stability is going to require a lot of patience, a lot of compromise, and a lot of, inner work. It's not just about finding the right person, it's about becoming the right person, It's about learning how to manage your emotions, how to communicate effectively, how to navigate conflict in a healthy way. Because let's be real, even in the best relationships, there are going to be disagreements, there are going to be challenges. And it's how you handle those challenges that ultimately determines whether the relationship thrives or falls apart. And Temperance is saying that you have the ability to create that harmony, that you have the inner resources to navigate those challenges successfully. But it requires consciously choosing balance, consciously choosing compromise, and consciously choosing to see things from your partner's perspective, It's not always going to be easy, it's not always going to feel natural, but it's always going to be worth it in the end. Think of, mixing ingredients for a cake, If you put in too much of one thing, the whole thing gets thrown off. You need just the right amount of each ingredient to create something delicious and satisfying. And relationships are the same way. And I'm also seeing here that this Temperance card is also about, self-healing, It's about acknowledging your past wounds, your past traumas, and working to heal them so that they don't keep sabotaging your relationships, Because sometimes we carry these old patterns with us, these old beliefs about ourselves and about love, and they keep us from fully opening up and connecting with someone new. So Temperance is encouraging you to do that inner work, to release those old patterns, and to create space for a healthier, more balanced relationship. And I'm also getting a sense that you might be drawn to someone who's very different from you, someone who challenges you to see the world in a new way, Someone who brings a different energy to the table. And that can be really exciting, but it can also be challenging, right? Because you have to learn how to blend those different energies, how to find common ground, how to appreciate each other's differences without letting them become a source of conflict. So, yeah, Temperance is all about finding that sweet spot, that perfect balance between two different people, two different energies, two different perspectives. That's what you have to seek, actively. Okay, so we've got the 10 of Pentacles, the long-term vision, the ultimate goal. We've got Temperance, the need for balance, compromise, and inner work. But there's one more card here, and ooh, it's a big one, the Moon. This is where things get really interesting. The Moon is all about intuition, secrets, the subconscious, hidden emotions. All that deep, mysterious stuff that's lurking beneath the surface. Seeing this card in combination with the 10 of Pentacles and Temperance, I'm getting the sense that, achieving that long-term stability and that harmonious balance is going to require you to really trust your gut, to pay attention to your intuition, and to be willing to explore the hidden depths of yourself and your partner, Because, let's be real, everyone has secrets, everyone has fears, everyone has aspects of themselves that they don't necessarily show to the world. And the Moon is saying that it's important to acknowledge those hidden aspects, to be willing to shine a light on them, and to explore them with compassion and understanding. It's about understanding the whole person, warts and all. And I'm also seeing here that you might be dealing with some uncertainty or confusion in your love life right now. Maybe you're not sure how someone really feels about you, or maybe you're not sure if you're making the right decisions. The Moon is a card of illusions, and you may need to look past some of the superficial things and figure out what's truly happening. So, it's important to trust your intuition and to pay attention to your dreams, because they might be trying to tell you something. But, here's the thing. The moon can also be a warning card, you know? It can indicate that there are hidden dangers or red flags that you need to be aware of. So, like, if something feels off, if something doesn't quite add up, don't ignore it, you know? Trust your instincts and be willing to dig a little deeper to uncover the truth. It might be uncomfortable, it might be scary, but it's always better to know the truth than to live in a fantasy. And like, I'm also getting a sense that you might be drawn to someone who's a bit of a mystery, someone who's enigmatic and alluring, but also a bit hard to read, you know. And that can be really exciting, but it can also be a recipe for disaster if you're not careful, you know. Because sometimes those mysterious people are just hiding something, and it's not always something good. So yeah, be cautious, be discerning, and don't let yourself get swept away by the romance of it all without first making sure that you're dealing with someone who's trustworthy and genuine. And like, this all goes back to the theme of igniting passion, right? Sometimes the things that really set our souls on fire are also the things that scare us the most. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't explore it. Just proceed with, like, eyes open. So, yeah, trust your intuition, be willing to explore the hidden depths, but also be cautious and discerning. So, my friend, with these 3 cards together, it's like you're being called to create a love that is both deeply secure and wildly passionate, but that requires navigating some hidden depths and finding inner equilibrium. What a journey! And there's so much more to uncover, I can feel it. What do you say we pull another card? Okay, deep breaths, here we go. So like, wow, the 8 of Swords, huh? Okay, so this is interesting. After all that talk about long-term dreams and hidden secrets, we get the 8 of Swords. So usually, like, when I see this card, it's all about feeling trapped, you know? Like, stuck in a situation, maybe even feeling helpless. But here's the thing, it's not usually about being actually trapped, like physically, you know? It's more about feeling trapped by your own thoughts, by your own beliefs, by your own limitations. It's like you've built this prison for yourself in your mind, and you can't see a way out, even though the exit is right there. It can be a real mind trip, honestly. And like, seeing this after the 10 of Pentacles, I'm wondering if maybe this feeling of being trapped is somehow connected to that desire for long-term security, you know? Like, maybe you're putting so much pressure on yourself to create this perfect, stable life that you're actually limiting your options. You're afraid to take risks. You're afraid to step outside of your comfort zone. It's almost like the more you want that security, the tighter you hold on, and the more trapped you feel. Does that make sense? Like, think about it, right? Maybe you're staying in a relationship that isn't really fulfilling you because you're afraid of being alone. You're afraid of losing that sense of security that you've built together. Or maybe you're not pursuing your true passions because you're afraid of failing. You're afraid of jeopardizing your financial stability, you know? It's like that desire for security can actually become a cage, keeping you from living your life to the fullest. And that's kind of heavy, you know? But it's also something that a lot of people struggle with, so you're definitely not alone in this. And then we have Temperance, right? That card of balance and compromise. And like, maybe this 8 of Swords is also showing that you're struggling to find that balance, you know. Maybe you're giving too much in the relationship, sacrificing your own needs and desires to keep the peace, to maintain that sense of harmony. Or maybe you're not willing to compromise, you're too rigid in your expectations, and that's creating conflict and tension. It's like when you're not in balance, when you're not honoring your own needs and desires, it's easy to feel trapped, like you don't have any control over your own life, you know? You're just going along with what everyone else wants, and you're losing sight of what truly makes you happy. Like, think about it in terms of, like, your career, right? Maybe you're stuck in a job that you hate because you feel like you have to be there, that you need the money, the benefits, the security. But maybe, like, deep down, you're yearning to do something different, something more fulfilling, something that actually aligns with your passions and your values, you know. But you're afraid to take that leap. You're afraid of the unknown, and so you stay stuck, feeling trapped and resentful. It's like finding that balance between security and passion is key to breaking free from this feeling of being trapped. It's about figuring out how to create a life that is both stable and fulfilling, a life where you're not sacrificing your own happiness for the sake of security. And then, oh man, and then we have the moon, right? That deep dive into the subconscious, the hidden emotions, the secrets that we keep from ourselves and others. And I'm wondering if this Eight of Swords is actually pointing to some deep-seated fears and insecurities that are fueling this feeling of being trapped, maybe you're afraid of being vulnerable, afraid of being judged, afraid of being hurt. And so you put up these walls, you create these limitations for yourself, to protect yourself from getting burned. But the thing is, those walls can also keep you from experiencing the joy and the connection that you're craving, It's like you're so afraid of getting hurt that you're actually preventing yourself from finding true love and happiness. Maybe there's a past relationship that really messed you up, that left you feeling betrayed or abandoned, And so now you're hesitant to open yourself up to someone new. You're afraid of repeating that same pattern, of getting hurt all over again. And that fear is creating this feeling of being trapped, like you're stuck in the past, unable to move forward and create a better future for yourself. You're in a prison of past pain. Or maybe it's not even a past relationship. Maybe it's something from your childhood, Some old wound that's still affecting you today, making you feel unworthy of love, making you feel like you're not good enough. And so you create these limitations for yourself. You sabotage your own relationships, because deep down, you don't believe that you deserve to be happy. And the thing about the Eight of Swords is that it's almost always about self-imposed limitations, It's about the stories that we tell ourselves, the beliefs that we hold about ourselves and the world around us. And these stories and beliefs can be incredibly powerful. They can shape our entire reality. But the good news is, we also have the power to change those stories, to challenge those beliefs, and to create a new reality for ourselves, It's about recognizing that the bars of the cage are not really there, that we have the key to unlock the door and walk out into freedom. It's all about perspective. Maybe you're telling yourself that you're not attractive enough, that you're not smart enough, that you're not successful enough to attract the kind of partner that you want, And so you don't even bother trying, you don't put yourself out there, you don't take any risks. But what if that's just a story, a limiting belief that's keeping you from realizing your full potential? What if you're actually amazing and wonderful and deserving of all the love and happiness in the world? What if the only thing that's standing in your way is your own self-doubt? And that's where the shift in perspective comes in, It's about challenging those negative thoughts, those limiting beliefs, and replacing them with positive, empowering ones. It's about recognizing your own strengths and your own worth, and believing that you are capable of creating the life that you want, the love that you deserve. It's almost about rewriting your own narrative. It's instead of saying, "I'm trapped, I can't do anything," you start saying, "I'm capable, I'm strong, I can overcome any obstacle." And when you start believing in yourself, when you start focusing on your strengths, you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish, You'll start to see opportunities where you only saw limitations before. You'll start to take risks that you were too afraid to take before. And you'll start to attract the kind of people and experiences that align with your new beliefs. It's like magic, honestly. But it all starts with that shift in perspective, with that willingness to challenge your own limiting beliefs. So, bringing this all back to our theme of igniting passion and shared desires, maybe this Eight of Swords is showing that you're holding yourself back from fully embracing your desires, Maybe you're afraid of getting hurt, afraid of being rejected, afraid of not being good enough. And so you're playing it safe, you're staying within your comfort zone, and you're missing out on the opportunity to experience true passion and connection. You're dimming your own flame. Think about it in terms of your romantic life, right? Maybe you're attracted to someone, but you're afraid to make a move. You're afraid of getting rejected. So you just stay in the friend zone, longing from afar, never actually taking a chance on love. Or maybe you're in a relationship, but you're not fully expressing your desires. You're not communicating your needs because you're afraid of rocking the boat, afraid of causing conflict, afraid of losing the relationship. And so you're settling for less than you deserve. You're sacrificing your own happiness for the sake of maintaining the status quo. But the thing is, true passion requires vulnerability. It requires risk. It requires a willingness to step outside of your comfort zone and embrace the unknown, you know. It's about letting go of your fears and your limitations and allowing yourself to fully experience the joy and the excitement of being alive, of being in love. It's about saying yes to your desires, even when it scares you, even when it feels risky, even when you don't know what the future holds. And the Eight of Swords is saying that, like, the only thing that's stopping you from experiencing that kind of passion is yourself, your own limiting beliefs, your own self-imposed restrictions. So yeah, this Eight of Swords is definitely a wake-up call, a challenge to step outside of your comfort zone, to challenge your limiting beliefs, and to embrace the possibility of a more fulfilling, more passionate life. It's about recognizing that you have the power to break free from the cage, to unlock the door, and to walk out into freedom. Wow, okay, that was a lot. But it feels really important, you know? Like, this card is really hitting on some deep-seated issues that need to be addressed in order to move forward and create the kind of love and happiness that you deserve. And I have such a good feeling that you're totally capable of doing that. But like, the question is, how do you actually break free from these limitations? What are the specific steps that you need to take to shift your perspective and create a new reality for yourself? I think we need another card to shed some light on that, don't you? Like, what's the key to unlocking this cage, to finally freeing yourself from these self-imposed restrictions? I'm so excited to find out. Okay, my friend, here we go, the Devil card. Wow, after all of that, seriously, the Devil. Okay, so like, usually when people see the Devil, they freak out, right? Because like, it's got this whole negative connotation, you know? Like temptation, addiction, being trapped, all that stuff. But like, let's not jump to conclusions here, okay? Let's really think about what the Devil could mean in the context of your reading, with the ruby palm stone and igniting passion. So like, first things first, the Devil is all about, you know, those things that bind us, right? Those things that we feel like we can't resist, whether it's like a bad habit, a toxic relationship, or like just a general feeling of being stuck. But the thing is, the Devil often points to where we give our power away, you know? Where we let something outside of ourselves control our choices and our actions. It's like where we feel powerless and, you know, like almost addicted to something, even if we know it's not good for us. But here's where it gets interesting, especially after the Ten of Pentacles, right? Because the Ten of Pentacles is all about, like, long-term security and stability and building a solid foundation. But could it be that your desire for that security is actually, like, trapping you in some way? Like, are you so focused on creating this perfect, stable life that you're, like, sacrificing your own happiness and fulfillment in the process? Because, like, sometimes the things that we think are keeping us safe are actually the things that are holding us back the most, you know? Like, are you so worried about, like, financial security that you're stuck in a job that you hate, a job that's, like, sucking the life out of you? Or are you staying in a relationship that's not really fulfilling you because you're afraid of being alone, afraid of losing that sense of stability? It's like the Devil is asking you to question your motivations, to really examine what's driving your choices, you know? Are you acting out of love and desire, or are you acting out of fear and obligation? Are you building a life that truly reflects your authentic self, or are you just trying to live up to someone else's expectations, maybe even your family? Because remember that family approval thing we talked about? The Devil is saying that it is critical to not trade your life for that approval. And then we have Temperance, that card of balance and harmony. And like, the Devil is kind of throwing a wrench into that whole thing, right? Because it's like, is it possible to be too balanced, too temperate, you know? Like, are you so focused on being reasonable and responsible that you're, like, denying yourself the things that you really want, the things that truly set your soul on fire? Because, like, sometimes we can get so caught up in trying to be perfect, in trying to do everything right, that we forget to actually enjoy life, to indulge in our desires, to let ourselves be a little bit wild and reckless. So, like, the devil is challenging you to loosen up a little, to break free from those self-imposed restrictions, and to embrace your inner rebel, Because sometimes it's okay to be a little bit bad, a little bit naughty, as long as you're not hurting yourself or anyone else. So are you letting passion into your life, or are you squelching it in favor of balance? And then, oh man, and then we have the moon, right? All those hidden emotions, all those secrets lurking beneath the surface. And the devil is saying that those hidden desires, those suppressed impulses, they're not just going to go away, They're going to keep bubbling up. They're going to keep demanding your attention until you finally acknowledge them and deal with them in a healthy way. So, what are you really craving, deep down inside, that you're afraid to admit, even to yourself? What are you fantasizing about that you're too ashamed to pursue? Because, the devil is saying that it's time to bring those hidden desires into the light, to explore them without judgment, and to figure out how to integrate them into your life in a way that's both fulfilling and responsible, What are those desires? Are they unhealthy or just scary? And then, the Eight of Swords, the card about feeling trapped by your own thoughts and limitations. Well, the devil is kind of like the opposite of that, in a way, because it's about feeling trapped by external forces, by those things that you think you can't control. But the thing is, the devil is also showing you that those chains are not as strong as you think they are, You have the power to break free, to reclaim your autonomy, to take control of your own life. But it requires you to confront your demons, to face your fears, and to make a conscious choice to liberate yourself from those limiting beliefs and those toxic patterns, It's like the chains are there because you believe that they are, so the devil is showing them to you to say, hey, do you see this? It's not real. So, what are the real chains that are binding you, and what steps can you take to break free from them? But here's the thing, and this is really important. The devil isn't all bad, okay? It's not just about temptation and addiction and being trapped. It's also about embracing your desires, about celebrating your sensuality, about, living life to the fullest. It's about saying yes to the things that make you feel good, to the things that bring you pleasure, without feeling guilty or ashamed, It's about recognizing that you are a sexual being, a passionate being, and that there's nothing wrong with wanting to experience those things in a healthy and consensual way, It's about connecting with your body, with your senses, and with your own inner power. And the devil can also be a card of liberation, It can be about breaking free from societal expectations, from those outdated beliefs about what you should and shouldn't do, about who you should and shouldn't be. It's about saying, I'm going to live my life on my own terms, I'm going to follow my own path, and I'm not going to let anyone tell me what to do, It's about embracing your individuality, your uniqueness, and your own personal power. It's about recognizing that you are the master of your own destiny, and that you have the right to create a life that is both fulfilling and authentic, So, how do you avoid the pitfalls of the devil and harness its energy for good? Well, first of all, it's about being honest with yourself about your desires, about what you really want, deep down inside. It's about acknowledging those impulses without judgment, without shame, and without letting them control you, It's about being mindful of your choices, of your actions, and of the potential consequences of those choices and actions. It's about setting healthy boundaries, about saying no to the things that are not good for you, and about surrounding yourself with people who support your growth and your well-being. And it's also about practicing self-care, about taking care of your body, your mind, and your spirit. It's about nourishing yourself with healthy food, with regular exercise, with meaningful connections, and with creative expression. It's about finding ways to release stress and tension, to relax and unwind, and to connect with your own inner peace and wisdom. And it's about seeking help when you need it, about reaching out to a therapist, a counselor, or a trusted friend or family member when you're struggling with addiction, with depression, or with any other mental health challenges. So, my friend, the devil is really challenging you to confront your shadow self, to embrace your desires, and to break free from those limiting beliefs and those toxic patterns that are holding you back. It's about reclaiming your power, about living life on your own terms, and about creating a life that is both fulfilling and authentic, you know. Like, wow, that's a lot to take in. But like, what does all of this mean for your love life? For that next significant connection that we're trying to uncover? Is the devil warning you about a potential toxic relationship? Or is it encouraging you to embrace your sensuality and to explore your desires without shame? I'm, like, dying to know. I think we absolutely need to pull one last card to clarify this, don't you? Like, what's the final piece of the puzzle? What's the ultimate message that the universe is trying to send you? Oh my God, I can't wait. Okay, here we go, the Empress. So like, after all that devil card energy, this feels like a total 180, right? Like, we go from, you know, temptation and like maybe feeling a little bit out of control to this total goddess vibe of like nurturing and abundance. It's pretty wild. But like, here's the thing, I don't think it's as contradictory as it seems at first, you know? Because like, if you think about it, the Empress is all about creation, right? About bringing things into being, about nurturing life. And maybe, like, that's what you need to do with those devilish desires, you know? Instead of, like, suppressing them or feeling ashamed of them, maybe it's about finding a way to channel that energy into something creative, something productive, something that actually brings you joy and fulfillment. Does that make sense? Like, think about it this way, right? The Ten of Pentacles is all about wanting that long-term security and stability. But then the devil comes along and says, like, hey, are you sure you're not sacrificing your own happiness for the sake of that security? And then the Empress is like, okay, well, why not create a life that's both secure and fulfilling? Like, why not have it all, you know? It's almost like giving yourself permission to want more, to dream bigger, and to actually, like, go after those dreams with passion and confidence. And that Temperance card is all about balance. So, like, how can you find that balance between your responsibilities and your desires, between your need for security and your need for excitement? The Empress is saying it is possible, but you're going to have to nurture it like a plant. And like the moon, right? All those hidden emotions and secrets. The Empress is like, okay, it's time to bring those emotions into the light, to acknowledge them, to validate them, and to use them as fuel for your creative fire. Because, like, your emotions are not your enemy, you know. They're actually a really powerful source of information and inspiration. And the Empress is saying it's okay to feel them, it's okay to express them, and it's okay to let them guide you on your path. And then the Eight of Swords, that feeling of being trapped. It's like the Empress is saying, honey, you are not trapped. You have the power to create your own reality, to break free from those self-imposed limitations, and to step into your full potential. So, like, yeah, the Empress is all about, like, taking control of your own life, but in a really gentle and loving way, you know? It's not about, like, forcing things to happen or, like, pushing yourself to the limit. It's about nurturing yourself, listening to your intuition, and trusting that the universe has your back. Okay, so let's dive into this a little deeper, starting with, like, nurturing yourself. Okay, so, like, what does it even mean to nurture yourself, right? It sounds kind of cheesy, but it's actually really important. I think it's about creating an environment for yourself where you feel safe, loved, and supported. It's about, like, treating yourself with the same kindness and compassion that you would treat a child or a beloved pet, you know? Like, think about it, right? When you're stressed or overwhelmed, what do you usually do? Do you, like, beat yourself up and tell yourself that you're not good enough? Or do you, like, take a step back, breathe deeply, and remind yourself that you're doing the best you can? The Empress is saying it's time to choose the latter, you know? It's time to be your own best friend, your own biggest cheerleader, and your own most loving parent. And, like, that can be hard, especially if you're used to being really hard on yourself. But it's so worth it, you know? Because when you start treating yourself with kindness and compassion, you start to feel more confident, more resilient, and more able to handle whatever life throws your way. And, like, nurturing yourself can take all sorts of different forms, you know? It can be as simple as taking a long bath, reading a good book, or spending time in nature. Or it can be something more involved, like going to therapy, joining a support group, or starting a new hobby. The key is to find activities that make you feel good, that help you to relax and recharge, and that connect you with your own inner peace and joy. Like, for me, personally, I find that spending time in my garden is really nurturing, you know. I love getting my hands dirty, planting flowers, and watching things grow. It's like, it reminds me that life is a process, that everything takes time, and that even the smallest seed can blossom into something beautiful. And like, I also find that spending time with my friends and family is really nurturing, you know. I love being surrounded by people who love and support me, who make me laugh, and who remind me that I'm not alone in this world. So, like, what are some things that you can do to nurture yourself, starting today? What are some small changes you can make to create a more loving and supportive environment for yourself? The Empress is urging you to, like, really think about this. Okay, so next up, let's talk about, like, embracing your feminine power. Okay, so, like, this is a big one, right? Because, like, what is feminine power anyway? And, like, why is it even important? Well, I think it's important because, like, for centuries, women have been told that they're less than men, that they're not as smart, not as strong, not as capable, you know. And that's just not true. Women are just as intelligent, just as capable, and just as powerful as men, but they've been conditioned to believe otherwise. And, like, that's where feminine power comes in, you know. It's about reclaiming your own strength, your own voice, and your own power. It's about recognizing that you are a force to be reckoned with, that you have something valuable to offer the world, and that you deserve to be treated with respect and dignity. And, like, feminine power isn't just for women, you know. It's for everyone, regardless of gender identity. Because, like, everyone has both masculine and feminine energy within them, and it's important to embrace both sides of yourself in order to be fully balanced and whole. Like, think about it, right? Masculine energy is all about, like, action, logic, and assertiveness. And feminine energy is all about, like, intuition, creativity, and compassion. And both of those energies are really important for success in life. So, like, how can you embrace your feminine power? Well, I think it starts with, like, recognizing your own worth, you know? It's about believing in yourself, trusting your intuition, and knowing that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. And it's also about, like, connecting with other women, you know. It's about building a supportive community of women who lift each other up, who celebrate each other's successes, and who remind each other that they're not alone in this world. Like, you can lean on each other, you know. And it's about, like, using your voice to speak up for what you believe in, you know. It's about standing up for justice, for equality, and for the rights of all people. It's about being a leader, a change maker, and a force for good in the world. Like, for me, personally, I find that embracing my feminine power means, like, being authentic, being vulnerable, and being true to myself, you know. It means not trying to be someone I'm not trying to fit into someone else's mold, and not being afraid to express my own unique perspective. And it means, like, owning my own sexuality, my own desires, and my own passions without shame or guilt. Like the Devil card was saying. So, like, what does embracing your feminine power mean to you? How can you step into your own strength, your own voice, and your own power? What are some small steps you can take to connect with your own inner goddess? Okay, so next up, let's talk about, like, creating abundance. Okay, so, like, abundance isn't just about money, you know. It's about having enough of everything you need to live a happy and fulfilling life, including, like, love, health, joy, creativity, and purpose. And, like, the Empress is all about abundance, you know. She's a symbol of fertility, of growth, and of prosperity. She's a reminder that there is always enough to go around, that the universe is inherently abundant, and that you deserve to have all of your needs met. But, like, here's the thing, right? Abundance isn't just something that happens to you, it's something that you create, you know. It's about cultivating a mindset of abundance, about believing that you are worthy of receiving all good things, and about taking action to manifest your desires. Like, think about it, right? If you're constantly focusing on what you lack, on what you don't have, you're going to attract more lack into your life. But if you're focusing on what you do have, on what you're grateful for, you're going to attract more abundance into your life. So, how can you cultivate a mindset of abundance? Well, I think it starts with, practicing gratitude, It's about taking time each day to appreciate all the good things in your life, no matter how small they may seem. It's about focusing on what you have, rather than on what you lack. And it's also about, being generous, It's about giving back to others, about sharing your resources, and about helping those in need. Because, the more you give, the more you receive, It's like the universe rewards generosity. And it's about, taking inspired action, It's about following your passions, pursuing your goals, and taking risks to create the life you want. It's about not being afraid to ask for what you want, about believing that you deserve it, and about trusting that the universe will provide. For me, personally, I find that creating abundance means, being mindful of my spending habits, It means not buying things I don't need, not wasting resources, and not living beyond my means. And it also means, investing in myself, in my education, in my health, and in my relationships. Take good care of yourself. So, what does creating abundance mean to you? How can you cultivate a mindset of abundance in your own life? What are some small steps you can take to manifest your desires? Okay, so last but not least, let's talk about, connecting with your intuition. Okay, so, your intuition is your inner voice, your gut feeling, your higher self, It's that part of you that knows what's best for you, even when your mind is telling you something different. And the Empress is all about intuition, She's a symbol of wisdom, of insight, and of inner knowing. She's a reminder that you have all the answers you need within you, and that you just need to learn how to listen to your own inner guidance. But here's the thing, right? It can be hard to hear your intuition, especially when you're surrounded by so much noise and distraction, It's your mind is constantly chattering, your emotions are all over the place, and it's hard to distinguish your own inner voice from all the external influences. So, how can you connect with your intuition? Well, I think it starts with, creating space for yourself, It's about taking time each day to be alone, to be quiet, and to listen to your own inner voice. It's about turning off the TV, putting down your phone, and just being present in the moment. And it's also about, practicing mindfulness, It's about paying attention to your thoughts, your feelings, and your sensations without judgment. It's about observing your own inner world with curiosity and compassion. And it's about, trusting your gut, It's about paying attention to those subtle cues that your body is giving you, those feelings of unease, of excitement, or of peace. It's about learning to recognize when something feels right and when something feels wrong, and about honoring those feelings, even when they don't make logical sense. For me, personally, I find that connecting with my intuition means, journaling, I love writing down my thoughts, my feelings, and my dreams, because it helps me to clarify what's going on inside me. And I also find that spending time in nature helps me to connect with my intuition, because it allows me to quiet my mind and to listen to the wisdom of the earth. So, what does connecting with your intuition mean to you? How can you create space for yourself to listen to your own inner voice? What are some practices that help you to connect with your own inner wisdom? So, wow, the Empress is really calling you to step into your power, to nurture yourself, to embrace your desires, and to create a life that is both fulfilling and abundant. And I'm so excited for you to see what happens next. But is the Empress pointing to a specific person in your life? Is she a sign that you're about to meet someone who embodies these qualities? Or is she simply a message to embody these qualities yourself? I'm dying to know. Okay, let's pull one more card and find out. Okay, wow, the sun card. I love the sun. Okay, so after all of that intense energy, right, with the devil and the Eight of Swords, the sun just bursts in pure, unadulterated joy and positivity. It's hello, I'm here to shine some light on everything. And with the ruby palm stone being all about harmonizing, it's this is the harmonious outcome you can get to. This is that perfect balance, that igniting of passion that doesn't burn you out but fills you up. This is the card of happiness, success, vitality, like everything good. So let's see how it plays with everything else. Okay, so remember how we talked about the Ten of Pentacles, that long-term security, that desire for, like, the ultimate picture of having it all. Well, the Sun is like, yes, you can have that, but it's not just about the material stuff, you know? It's not just about the house and the family and the perfect life. It's about genuine joy. It's about feeling truly happy and fulfilled in your everyday life and sharing that with someone special. Like, it's about waking up every morning and feeling grateful for what you have and excited for what's to come. The Sun is like, the Ten of Pentacles is amazing, but make sure you're actually enjoying the sunshine while you're building that empire. You know, because what's the point of having all that security if you're not actually happy? And the Ten of Pentacles is a card that shows you're able to have that life, that you are capable of creating it, and the Sun is telling you to go for it, you know? And then we had Temperance, that card of balance and compromise. The Sun is like, okay, yes, balance is important, but don't be afraid to let your light shine, you know? Don't be afraid to express yourself fully and authentically, even if it means rocking the boat a little bit. The Sun is like, it's okay to be a little bit extra, it's okay to be a little bit loud, it's okay to be a little bit different. Like, that's what makes you special. And it's about finding someone who appreciates your light, who loves you for who you are, and who encourages you to shine even brighter, you know? Like, it's about finding a partner who's not threatened by your success, but who celebrates it with you. Like, remember, you can be someone who you're happy with, and that means being authentically yourself. Oh man, and then we have the Moon. That deep dive into the subconscious, all those hidden emotions. The Sun is like, okay, it's time to come out of the shadows, you know? It's time to face your fears, to confront your insecurities, and to let go of all that baggage that's been holding you back. The Sun is like, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to show your true self to the world, because that's where the real magic happens, you know? It's when you're authentic, when you're genuine, that you attract the right people and the right experiences into your life. The Moon is a card of mystery, but the Sun is here saying it's time to not hide anymore. Also, the Moon is about trusting your intuition, and the Sun is like, your intuition will never guide you wrong. It's about trusting your own inner wisdom and knowing that you have the power to create your own happiness, you know? Like, you're not a victim of circumstance, you're the creator of your own reality. And then, wow, the Eight of Swords. Feeling trapped, feeling limited by your own thoughts. The Sun is like, girl, break free. You are not trapped. You have the power to change your perspective, to challenge those limiting beliefs, and to create a new reality for yourself, you know? The Sun is like, it's time to take off those blindfolds, to see the world with new eyes, and to realize that the possibilities are endless. It's like, remember how we said the bars of the cage aren't really there? The Sun is like, yeah, they were never there. You're free to go. It's about recognizing your own strength, your own resilience, and your own ability to overcome any obstacle. It's about believing in yourself, knowing that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. I can totally see the Sun as freedom and being unshackled. And then, like the devil, all that temptation, all those desires, all those things that bind us. The Sun is like, okay, it's time to take control of your desires, you know? It's time to use that energy for good, to channel it into something positive and productive. The Sun is like, it's okay to want things, it's okay to enjoy pleasure, but it's important to do it in a way that's healthy and responsible, you know? It's about finding that balance between indulgence and restraint, between freedom and responsibility. The Sun can be the thing that helps you break those chains, because it's about living authentically, right? So you need to be real with yourself. It's not about suppressing your desires, it's about understanding them, about integrating them into your life in a way that brings you joy and fulfillment without causing harm to yourself or others. Like, it's about recognizing that you are a powerful being, capable of creating your own happiness and your own success, and that you don't need to be bound by anything or anyone. So bringing it all back to that theme of igniting passion, the Sun is like, this is it. This is the passion. This is the joy. This is the excitement. This is the feeling of being truly alive. The sun is saying that you are on the right path, that you are moving in the right direction, and that you are about to experience a period of great happiness and fulfillment in your love life, in your career, and in every aspect of your life, you know. It's about finding someone who lights you up, who makes you feel good about yourself, and who inspires you to be your best self. It's about creating a relationship that's full of laughter, of adventure, and of genuine connection. It's about finding someone who shares your values, who supports your dreams, and who loves you unconditionally. The sun is about showing all of yourself and being loved. Also, with that ruby palm stone again, it is saying to go ahead, harmonize with this person. This is the go ahead. But also, the sun can also represent a period of intense creativity and inspiration, you know. It's about tapping into your own inner genius, about expressing yourself through art, through music, through writing, through whatever medium feels most natural to you. It's about sharing your gifts with the world, about making a difference in the lives of others, and about leaving your own unique mark on the planet. It's a card of fun, of being childlike, of being joyful. Don't be afraid of those feelings, embrace them. Wow, with all these cards together, especially with the ruby palm stone, it's all pointing to this incredible potential for happiness and fulfillment. But it's also saying that you have to be willing to face your fears, to challenge your limitations, and to embrace your own power in order to create it, you know. It's all about being authentic, being vulnerable, and being true to yourself, and about finding someone who appreciates you for who you are and who encourages you to shine even brighter. It's a green light, but that also doesn't mean you can be reckless. Okay, so, this is amazing, but is the sun, a specific person? Are you about to meet someone who embodies all these qualities of joy and authenticity and, just pure sunshine? Or is the sun more about, you becoming that person? Are you the one who's going to bring the sunshine into someone else's life? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to find out. What do you say we pull one last card to clarify all of this? Okay, so, after that sun card, right, which is all about joy and happiness, we're now getting the Six of Swords. It's interesting, right? Okay, so the Six of Swords in a nutshell is all about moving on, you know? Leaving behind difficult times and heading towards calmer waters. It's like you've been through some stuff, you know? You've faced some challenges, but now you're finally ready to move forward, to leave the past behind and embrace a brighter future. And with that ruby palm stone, that's all about harmonizing. This is all about doing it in a way that feels balanced and centered, you know? So, remember how we started with that 10 of Pentacles, that desire for long-term security? Well, maybe you had to leave behind a situation that felt secure, but wasn't really serving you, you know. Maybe you had to make a tough decision to prioritize your own happiness over someone else's expectations. Because, sometimes the most secure thing you can do is to walk away from something that's not working, even if it's scary, right? It is. And the Six of Swords is yeah, you did the right thing, you know. Even though it was hard, even though it was painful, you made the right choice for yourself, and now you're on your way to something better. And then we had that Temperance card, that need for balance and compromise, right? Well, maybe you had to compromise a little too much in the past, you know. Maybe you were always putting other people's needs before your own, and you kind of lost sight of who you were and what you wanted. And the Six of Swords is okay, it's time to reclaim your own power, you know. It's time to start prioritizing your own needs and desires, and to find a balance that actually works for you, not just for everyone else. You know, it is your turn. The Six of Swords is saying that you have earned it. Oh man, and then we had that Moon card, that deep dive into the subconscious, all those hidden emotions and fears. Well, maybe you had to confront some of those fears in order to move forward, you know? Maybe you had to acknowledge some painful truths about yourself or about someone else. And the Six of Swords is yeah, that was tough, but you did it, you know. You faced your demons, you shone a light on those hidden shadows, and now you're free to move on with a clearer understanding of yourself and the world around you. It's almost as if you're on a boat and all of that stuff is falling off the back, you know? It's staying behind you. And then the Eight of Swords, feeling trapped, feeling limited by your own thoughts. The Six of Swords is like you're breaking free. You're leaving those limitations behind. You're realizing that you have the power to create your own reality, to choose your own path, and to live your life on your own terms, right? Like that feeling of being trapped, you're literally sailing away from it. It's so freeing. And remember the ruby palm stone. It's helping you find the harmony in that freedom. And then, like the devil, all those temptations and unhealthy attachments. The Six of Swords is like, okay, you're leaving those behind too, you know? You're breaking free from those toxic patterns, those unhealthy relationships, those addictive behaviors. You're choosing to prioritize your own well-being, your own happiness, and your own spiritual growth, you know? Like those chains are broken. And the Six of Swords is showing you physically moving away from them. And then finally, the sun, that pure joy, that authentic happiness. The Six of Swords is like, you're moving towards that, you know? You're not quite there yet, but you're on your way. You're leaving behind the darkness and heading towards the light. You're embracing your own inner radiance, your own joy, and your own potential for happiness. The Six of Swords is helping you bring that sun energy with you to carry it forward on your journey, right? So, like, what does this all mean for your love life? Well, maybe you're leaving behind a relationship that wasn't working, you know? Maybe you're moving on from a painful breakup or a difficult situation. And the Six of Swords is saying that it's okay to let go, it's okay to move on, and it's okay to start fresh. You deserve to be happy, you deserve to be loved, and you deserve to be in a relationship that's healthy and fulfilling, you know. It is okay to want all of that. Or maybe you're not necessarily leaving behind a specific relationship, but you're leaving behind some old patterns and beliefs that have been holding you back, you know. Maybe you're letting go of some limiting beliefs about yourself, about love, or about relationships. And the Six of Swords is saying that it's time to embrace a new perspective, to open yourself up to new possibilities, and to believe that you are worthy of love and happiness. That Eight of Swords energy is gone. Like, maybe you're realizing that you don't need to settle for less than you deserve, you know. Maybe you're realizing that you don't need to compromise your own happiness in order to be in a relationship. And the Six of Swords is saying that it's okay to have high standards. It's okay to want what you want, and it's okay to wait for someone who truly appreciates you for who you are. It's okay to want that Ten of Pentacles and that Sun card at the same time. And like this Six of Swords, it's not always easy, you know? There's often a sense of sadness or loss associated with it. It's like you're leaving something behind, even if it wasn't good for you, and that can be hard. But the Six of Swords is also about hope, you know. It's about knowing that things will get better, that the future holds brighter possibilities, and that you have the strength and the resilience to overcome any challenge. So, like, how do you navigate this transition? How do you move forward in a way that's both healthy and fulfilling? Well, first of all, it's important to allow yourself to grieve, you know. It's okay to feel sad, it's okay to cry, and it's okay to miss what you've lost. Don't try to suppress your emotions, but allow yourself to feel them fully and to process them in a healthy way. The Six of Swords is like, yes, sailing away is good, but it's okay to look back for a minute. And it's also important to practice self-care, you know? To take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit. To do things that make you feel good, that help you to relax and recharge, and that connect you with your own inner peace and joy. Remember that Empress energy. The ruby palm stone is like, self-care is key to harmonizing with your future. And it's also important to seek support from others, you know. To reach out to your friends, your family, or a therapist, and to talk about what you're going through. Don't try to go through this alone, but allow yourself to be supported and loved by the people who care about you. The Six of Swords is easier when you have people cheering you on from the shore. And it's also important to focus on the future, you know. To set new goals, to pursue new passions, and to create a new vision for your life. Don't dwell on the past, but look forward to the possibilities that lie ahead. The Sun card is shining a light on that path. The Six of Swords is helping you get there. And it's also important to trust yourself, you know. To believe in your own strength, your own wisdom, and your own ability to create a happy and fulfilling life. You've got this. The universe believes in you, and you should believe in yourself too. All of these cards are telling you to trust yourself and to trust your journey. So, what does this all mean for that next significant connection? Well, maybe it means that you're ready to attract someone who's aligned with your new vision for your life. Someone who's supportive, loving, and truly appreciates you for who you are. Or maybe it means that you're ready to become that person yourself, to embody those qualities of strength, wisdom, and self-love, and to attract someone who's equally as amazing, you know. Like the Six of Swords, it's not just about leaving something behind, it's also about moving towards something new, something better, something more aligned with your true self. And with that ruby palm stone, it's about finding the harmony and the balance in that transition, about creating a life that's both fulfilling and authentic. So, my friend, embrace this journey, trust yourself, and know that you are on your way to something amazing. The Six of Swords is carrying you towards calmer waters, towards brighter days, and towards a future filled with love, joy, and happiness. And with that sun card still shining bright, it's like, get ready for the sunshine. The Six of Swords is bringing you there, so be prepared. Okay, so, I know that was a lot, but I really feel like this reading has given you some valuable insights and some practical guidance on how to move forward in your love life, and in your life in general. And I'm so excited to see what the future holds for you. You deserve all the happiness in the world, and I know that you're going to create it for yourself. So go out there and shine your light, embrace your power, and create a life that's truly amazing, and remember to trust yourself and your journey. You got this. All right, pile 3, so glad you're here. You picked the Amazonite pyramid, and Amazonite is all about centering, finding your inner balance. It's perfect because our theme for this reading is building bridges, the foundation for lasting growth, which is all about creating solid connections, even when things get shaky, and this crystal can help you with that. This is going to be good. I can already feel it. Okay, so the first card we have here is the Hierophant. Wow. The Hierophant often represents tradition, institutions, the way things should be, according to society or maybe even your family. In a love reading, this can point to very traditional beliefs about relationships, like what a partnership should look like, the roles each person should play, maybe even the timeline you should be following, dating, engagement, marriage, kids. It could be that you've been operating under these assumptions without even realizing it, just kind of absorbing them from your environment. It feels like, for some of you, you might be holding on to an idea of love that's, well, a little outdated. Maybe you believe that you need to be married by a certain age, or that you have to find someone who fits a specific mold, career, background, family expectations. Or perhaps it's about gender roles, like who should pay on a date or who should be doing the cooking and cleaning. These expectations can create a lot of pressure, especially if they don't align with your true desires or the kind of relationship you actually want. The Hierophant can also point to a desire for stability and structure in your love life. You might be craving that sense of security that comes with a traditional partnership, the feeling of knowing where things are headed. And that's totally understandable. But the thing is, sometimes that desire for stability can actually hold you back from exploring other possibilities, from opening yourself up to a different kind of love that might be even more fulfilling. It's like the universe is showing you that it's okay to question these traditional beliefs, to challenge the status quo. It's okay to create your own definition of love and partnership, one that actually reflects your values and your needs. Don't be afraid to break free from those expectations and forge your own path. It is totally fine to redefine everything and to build something that is really, truly, and undeniably your own. Think about what you were taught about love when you were younger. Think about what your parents' relationship looked like, or the relationships you saw in movies and TV shows. Did those portrayals feel authentic to you? Did they resonate with your own experiences? Or did they leave you feeling like something was missing? Also, consider how your cultural background influences your views on love and relationships. Are there specific traditions or expectations that you feel pressured to uphold? It's important to be aware of these influences so you can make conscious choices about what you want to incorporate into your own life and what you want to leave behind. This isn't about rejecting tradition altogether, by the way. It's about being mindful and intentional about what you choose to embrace. If certain traditions feel meaningful and supportive to you, then absolutely keep them. But if they're causing you stress or preventing you from finding happiness, it might be time to reevaluate. For some of you, this could also be about seeking guidance from a mentor or counselor, someone who can help you navigate these complex issues and gain a new perspective on your love life. The Hierophant can represent a teacher or advisor who can offer wisdom and support as you explore your beliefs about love. Okay, so that's the Hierophant. But then we have the Tower. Oh boy, this is like hold on to your hat time, you know? The Tower is all about sudden change, upheaval, unexpected events that shake you to your core. It's like the universe is saying, okay, you thought you had it all figured out. Think again. In the context of this reading, the Tower suggests that those traditional beliefs about love that we just talked about are about to be seriously challenged. This could manifest in a lot of different ways. Maybe you're in a relationship that suddenly ends, forcing you to confront the fact that it wasn't as stable or fulfilling as you thought it was. Or perhaps you meet someone who completely defies your expectations, someone who doesn't fit into your preconceived notions of what your ideal partner should be. It's also possible that you experience some kind of personal transformation that changes your entire outlook on love and relationships. Whatever it is, the Tower is going to shake things up, and it might not be pretty. There could be feelings of shock, confusion, anger, even grief. It's like the rug is being pulled out from under you and you're left feeling disoriented and lost. But here's the thing. The Tower, while scary, is ultimately a positive card. It represents the breakdown of old structures that are no longer serving you, making way for something new and better to emerge. The Tower shows us that sometimes it's necessary to destroy the old to build something stronger and more authentic. It is absolutely essential for the creation of new love. Think of it like this. If you're living in a house that's built on a shaky foundation, it's eventually going to crumble. The Tower is like the universe coming in and demolishing that house so you can build a new one that's actually solid and secure. So, while it might be painful in the moment, it's ultimately for your own good. This card is urging you to be open to change, even if it's scary. Don't try to cling to those old beliefs or expectations, because they're not going to hold up. Instead, embrace the chaos and allow yourself to be guided by your intuition. What feels right in your heart? What kind of relationship do you really want, deep down? The Tower can also be a wake-up call. It's like the universe is saying, hey, you've been ignoring some important truths about yourself and your relationships. It's time to pay attention. Maybe you've been settling for less than you deserve, or maybe you've been avoiding difficult conversations. The Tower is going to force you to confront those issues head-on. This isn't about blaming yourself or feeling guilty. It's about taking responsibility for your own happiness and making conscious choices about your love life. It's about recognizing that you have the power to create the kind of relationship you desire, but it might require some major changes. Remember that Amazonite, that centering. You might be tested right now, but everything will come full circle. Remember to fall back on your foundation and remember everything that you've learned. All the best things in life require going through a little bit of struggle. Just keep your head up. And finally, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, after all that Tower energy, this is a welcome sight, you know. The Seven of Pentacles is all about patience, long-term investment, and waiting to see the fruits of your labor. It suggests that after the upheaval of the Tower, you're going to be taking a step back and reevaluating your priorities. It's almost like you are reassessing everything. Like, okay, what just happened? And what do I really want to create now? This isn't about instant gratification. It's about planting seeds and nurturing them over time, trusting that they will eventually blossom into something beautiful. You're going to be putting in the work, but you might not see the results right away. It requires faith and commitment. In the context of a love reading, the Seven of Pentacles suggests that you're going to be investing in yourself, and your own personal growth. You're going to be focusing on healing from the past, clearing out old patterns, and becoming the best version of yourself. This might involve therapy, self-help books, journaling, or any other practices that help you connect with your inner wisdom. You're also going to be taking a more mindful approach to dating and relationships. You're not going to be rushing into anything, but rather taking your time to get to know people and see if they're truly a good fit for you. You're going to be looking for qualities like kindness, compassion, honesty, and emotional intelligence. It's like you're realizing that a healthy relationship isn't just about finding someone who meets your superficial criteria. It's about finding someone who shares your values and supports your growth, someone who you can build a life with based on mutual respect and trust. The Seven of Pentacles also suggests that you're going to be setting clear boundaries in your relationships. You're going to be communicating your needs and expectations assertively, and you're not going to be afraid to walk away from situations that don't feel right. This is about honoring your own worth and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. It's important to remember that this is a process. There will be ups and downs, moments of doubt and frustration. But if you stay committed to your own growth and trust the timing of the universe, you will eventually create the kind of love life you desire. For some of you, this could also be about reevaluating your current relationship. Are you both willing to put in the work to make it stronger and more fulfilling? Or is it time to let go and move on? The Seven of Pentacles is urging you to be honest with yourself about what you're willing to invest in and what you're not. Don't let yourself fall for sunk cost fallacy. Really think about what you are getting from this relationship and if it is worth all the pain. Think of it like tending a garden. You need to water the plants, pull the weeds, and protect them from pests. It takes time and effort, but the rewards are well worth it. And even if some plants don't thrive, you can always plant new ones. The key is to keep learning and growing, and to never give up on your dream of a beautiful garden. It's okay to take risks and see what works. So, yeah, the Hierophant, the Tower, and the Seven of Pentacles. It's like you're being called to break free from old patterns, embrace change, and invest in your own personal growth. And that Amazonite crystal is there to help you stay centered through it all. Next up, let's see what the next card has to say. Okay, so after all of that, we have the Emperor, which is, wow, really interesting here. The Emperor is like the ultimate authority figure, you know? Its structure, its control, it's about taking charge. Think of it as like the opposite of the Tower in some ways. Where the Tower is chaotic and unpredictable, the Emperor is all about order and stability. In a love reading, this can mean a few different things. It could suggest that you're looking for someone who is strong, dependable, and a leader. Someone who can provide a sense of security and direction in your life. Maybe you're tired of feeling like you're always in a state of chaos, and you want someone who can bring some much-needed stability, you know. But it also can mean that you are being called to embody those qualities yourself, to step into your own power and take control of your love life. After the Tower shook things up, you might be feeling a little lost and unsure of yourself, and the Emperor is here to say, hey, it's time to take the reins. It's like you have the power to create the kind of relationship you want, but you need to be assertive and intentional about it. Think about it. After the Hierophant and all those traditional beliefs and expectations, and then the Tower just demolishing all of that, maybe the Emperor is about rebuilding, but rebuilding on your own terms. Not based on what society tells you, but on what you truly want and need in a partnership. It's like you're the architect now. You get to design the relationship that works for you. But here's the thing, it's about finding a balance, right? The Emperor can also be a little bit rigid and controlling if he's not careful. So you don't want to become too overbearing or demanding in your relationships. It's about being strong and assertive, but also being open to compromise and collaboration. It's like you can be the leader, but you also need to be a good listener and a supportive partner. And remember that Amazonite, that centering. It's important to stay grounded and balanced as you step into this energy, to ensure you're leading from a place of authenticity and not from ego. I feel like this is all about, channeling that energy into something productive. Something that makes you feel good and something that makes you feel in control. And it's like, wow, that's really awesome, right? For some of you, this could mean taking a more proactive approach to dating. Maybe you've been waiting for love to find you, but the Emperor is saying, no, go out there and make it happen. Start swiping right, attend social events, put yourself out there. You have to be willing to take the initiative if you want to find the kind of partner you're looking for. Or maybe it's about setting clearer boundaries in your existing relationships. Are you letting people walk all over you? Are you afraid to speak your mind? The Emperor is urging you to stand up for yourself and communicate your needs assertively. You deserve to be treated with respect, and you shouldn't be afraid to demand it. It's also possible that the Emperor is pointing to a specific person in your life, someone who embodies those qualities of strength, leadership, and stability. This could be a potential partner, or it could be someone who is already in your life who can offer you guidance and support. Maybe a mentor, a friend, or even a family member. Pay attention to the people who make you feel safe and secure, the ones who inspire you to step into your own power. But again, it's important to remember that balance. You don't want to become too reliant on someone else for your own sense of stability. The Emperor is about finding that strength within yourself first, and then attracting partners who complement that energy. It's like you have to be your own rock before you can find someone to build a life with. And going back to the Seven of Pentacles, that patience and long-term investment, the Emperor is reminding you that building a solid relationship takes time and effort. You can't just snap your fingers and create the perfect partnership. It requires consistent work, clear communication, and a willingness to compromise. It's like you have to lay the foundation brick by brick, and the Emperor is there to make sure you're doing it with intention and purpose. This could also be about taking control of your own emotional state. After the Tower's chaos, you might be feeling anxious or overwhelmed. The Emperor is reminding you that you have the power to regulate your emotions and create a sense of inner peace. Practice mindfulness, set healthy boundaries, and don't be afraid to seek professional help if you need it. It's like you're the ruler of your own inner kingdom, and it's your responsibility to create a stable and harmonious environment. Maybe you have been through so much chaos that you are craving a traditional and stable environment. Maybe you want a very traditional family. The Emperor is all about creating that. It's like the possibilities here are endless. The interesting thing is that the traditional values of the Hierophant are not necessarily bad, but they might not be the best path for you. And the Tower just had to show that, right? It's like the Tower just has to blow everything up. But the Emperor can come in and almost set things up the way you want them, so long as you are not hurting anyone in the process. It's all about being happy and healthy. So, don't think of the Emperor as being an overbearing person. It's like you can be a boss without being bossy, you know. You can be in control without controlling other people. That's something to keep in mind. You also have to think about what areas in your life you feel that you are lacking control. It could be your finances. It could be your career. It could be your health. Maybe you have been letting those things go for too long, and maybe the Emperor is assigned to get all of that together. The Emperor is almost like a dad, like a good dad, not a bad dad, a good dad, someone who is reliable, someone who is supportive, someone who is there to guide you. So, think about what qualities you admire in a father figure, and think about how you can embody those qualities yourself. For some of you, this might also be about healing your relationship with your own father. If you had a difficult or absent father, the Emperor can represent an opportunity to heal those wounds and create a more positive relationship. This might involve setting boundaries, forgiving past hurts, or simply acknowledging the impact that your father has had on your life. It's like you can't change the past, but you can change how you relate to it. Or maybe you are the father. And maybe you are struggling to find your place in your family. And the Emperor is calling you to step up and be the leader that your family needs. It's like you have the power to create a positive and supportive environment for your loved ones, but you need to be willing to take on that responsibility. And connecting it back to the building bridges theme, the Emperor can represent the foundation upon which you build your relationships. It's about establishing clear expectations, setting healthy boundaries, and creating a sense of trust and security. It's like you can't build a bridge on shaky ground, so you need to make sure you have a solid foundation in place first. Also, the Emperor is a cardinal sign, which means it likes to initiate things. If you feel like you have been putting things off, now is the time to act. It's like, don't wait for the perfect moment to create it. Take that first step, send that email, make that phone call. The universe is supporting you in taking action and creating the life you desire. The Tower's chaos might have put you in a position to make a lot of choices. It might feel like everything is up in the air. The Emperor is all about landing on your feet. It's like now you have all these options. Pick one and master it. Pick one and become the best. Pick one and see it through. That is what the Emperor is about. Think about the areas in your life that you want to improve. What are your goals? What steps can you take to achieve them? The Emperor is about breaking down those goals into manageable steps and creating a plan of action. It's like you can't climb a mountain in one leap. You have to take it one step at a time. But the Emperor will make sure you get to the top. And remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent and persistent. There will be setbacks and challenges along the way, but the Emperor is reminding you that you have the strength and resilience to overcome them. It's like you're not going to win every battle, but you can win the war. You just have to keep fighting. So yeah, the Emperor, after all of that upheaval, is all about taking control, establishing structure, and building a solid foundation for your love life. But it's about finding a balance between strength and compassion, assertiveness and openness, and ultimately creating a relationship that is both stable and fulfilling. I feel like the pieces are really coming together. Let's see what the next card reveals. Alright, so after all of that Emperor energy, we have the Seven of Swords, which is, interesting. Okay, the Seven of Swords, this can be a tricky card, right? It often represents deception, betrayal, maybe even feeling like you have to, sneak around to get what you want. It can feel like, you are cutting corners, taking shortcuts, or even outright stealing something, And not necessarily physical things, it could be stealing someone's thunder or stealing an idea, or even stealing someone's heart, In a love reading, this card, it can point to a few different things, right? It could suggest that someone in your love life isn't being completely honest with you. It could be a partner who is hiding something, or maybe even you yourself are not being fully truthful about your feelings or intentions, It's like, are you being totally upfront and honest with yourself and with others? This card is asking you to take a really good look at that. Or, it could also mean that you're feeling like you have to, be sneaky or manipulative to get what you want in a relationship. Maybe you feel like you can't be direct about your needs or desires, so you're resorting to, games or, subtle tactics to try and get your partner to do what you want. But the thing is, that never really works in the long run, It just creates, mistrust and resentment. But, before we get all negative, the Seven of Swords can also be about, cleverness and resourcefulness. Sometimes it means you have to be a little bit strategic to get what you want, especially if you're dealing with, a difficult situation or a tricky person. It's like you have to be smart and think on your feet, So, how does this connect with the other cards we've got so far? Well, think about the Hierophant and those traditional beliefs about love. Maybe the Seven of Swords is showing up because you're feeling trapped by those beliefs, and you're tempted to, sneak around or bend the rules to get what you really want. It's like you're supposed to do things a certain way, but that way doesn't feel right for you, so you're looking for, a loophole, And then we have the Tower, which, blew everything up, right? Maybe the Seven of Swords is a consequence of that upheaval. Maybe the chaos of the Tower has left you feeling like you have to fend for yourself, and you're willing to do whatever it takes to survive, even if it means being a little bit dishonest. It's like all bets are off, and you're just trying to get by, But then we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is all about patience and investing in the long term. The Seven of Swords is, the opposite of that, right? It's about quick fixes and instant gratification. So maybe this card is a warning not to take shortcuts, to not sacrifice your long-term goals for short-term gains. It's like, yeah, you might be able to get away with something now, but it's going to come back to bite you in the end, you know. And then we have the Emperor, who is all about structure and control. The Seven of Swords is, like, undermining that authority, right? It's about subverting the rules and doing things your own way, even if it means going against the grain. So maybe this card is a sign that you're rebelling against some kind of authority figure in your life. Or maybe you're just feeling like you need to break free from some kind of restrictive structure. So, like, with that Amazonite, that centering crystal, it's super important to stay grounded and honest with yourself here, you know. Don't let your desire for quick results lead you down a path you'll regret. Think about what you really want, and whether you're going about getting it in a way that aligns with your values. It's like, are you being true to yourself, or are you sacrificing your integrity for something that isn't really worth it? For some of you, this could be about, like, a secret admirer, someone who is, like, harboring feelings for you but isn't being upfront about it. Maybe they're afraid of rejection, or maybe they're in a relationship with someone else. Whatever the reason, they're keeping their feelings hidden, and that could create some, like, awkward or complicated situations, you know. Or it could be about you having secret feelings for someone. Maybe you're attracted to someone who is off limits, like a coworker or a friend's partner. And, like, you know it's wrong to act on those feelings, but you can't help but fantasize about it, you know. It's like you're playing with fire and you need to be careful not to get burned. And, like, going back to that building bridges theme, the Seven of Swords can represent a breakdown in communication or trust. Maybe you're not being open and honest with your partner, or maybe they're not being open and honest with you. Whatever the case, it's creating a gap between you, and that gap is going to be really hard to bridge if you don't address it, you know. This could even be about, like, online dating, right? Are you being completely truthful in your profile? Are you using, like, old photos or exaggerating your accomplishments? It's like you want to present yourself in the best possible light, but you don't want to mislead people, you know. It's important to be authentic and genuine, even online. Or maybe it's about, like, catfishing, which is, like, a whole other level of deception, right? Someone is pretending to be someone they're not, and they're using that fake identity to, like, manipulate or exploit you. That is a huge red flag, and you need to be really careful about who you trust online. For others of you, this could be like stealing time from other obligations. Like, you know you should be working or taking care of responsibilities, but you're sneaking off to text someone or to go on dates. It's like everything in moderation. You can give everything its fair time, and being sneaky might have serious repercussions. And, like, it can also represent, like, stealing someone's heart without meaning to. Like you're just being friendly and flirty, but someone develops deeper feelings for you, and you're not really interested in them that way. It's like you didn't intend to hurt them, but you did, and you need to be mindful of your actions, you know? Or maybe you are the one who has had their heart stolen. Maybe someone came into your life, swept you off your feet, and then disappeared, leaving you heartbroken and confused. It's like you feel like they stole a part of you and you're trying to get it back. But, like, the Seven of Swords isn't always about, like, malicious intent, right? Sometimes it's just about, like, self-preservation. Maybe you're in a toxic relationship and you need to, like, sneak away to protect yourself. It's like you can't confront the situation directly, so you have to find a way to escape, you know. And in that case, the Amazonite is there to help you stay centered and make decisions that are in your best interest. It's like you need to prioritize your own well-being, even if it means being a little bit sneaky. The key is to do it with integrity and compassion, you know? Don't try to hurt anyone, just try to protect yourself. Or maybe you're in a situation where you feel like you have to compete with someone else for someone's attention. Like there's someone you're interested in, but they're also interested in someone else, and you feel like you have to, like, outsmart the competition to win their heart. It's like you're playing a game and you're trying to win, but you need to be careful not to cross any ethical lines. This could be about, like, someone being a homewrecker. Like they are intentionally trying to break up a relationship so they can be with someone. That is, like, a really low thing to do, and it's going to create a lot of pain and drama for everyone involved. Like, I am not condoning that at all. But like, on a lighter note, the Seven of Swords could also represent, like, a surprise proposal, right? Someone is planning a secret romantic gesture to, like, sweep you off your feet. It's like they're being sneaky in a good way, and it's going to be a really happy and exciting surprise. Or it could be about, like, a secret rendezvous, right? You and someone are meeting up in secret for a romantic tryst. It's like you're both being a little bit naughty, but it's also really exciting and thrilling. But you need to be aware of the risks and consequences involved, you know? Ultimately, the Seven of Swords is about, like, being honest with yourself and with others. It's about acting with integrity and compassion, even when you're facing difficult situations. And it's about being mindful of the impact your actions have on others. It's like, are you building bridges or are you burning them? That is the question you need to ask yourself. And that Amazonite is there to remind you to stay centered and true to yourself. It's like, you have the power to make choices that align with your values, and you need to use that power wisely. So yeah, the Hierophant, the Tower, the Seven of Pentacles, the Emperor, and now the Seven of Swords. It's like a wild ride, right? But what's the final destination? What's the ultimate outcome of all of this? What will we see in the very last card? Okay, wow, so after that Seven of Swords, we get the Magician, which is, like, a huge shift, you know? The Magician is all about, like, power, potential, and making things happen. It's like, you have all the tools you need right in front of you, you just have to know how to use them. So in a love reading, this can mean, like, a lot of things, right? It could mean that you have the power to manifest the kind of relationship you want, like, you have the skills, the resources, the energy, like, everything you need to attract the right person and create a fulfilling connection. But, it also means that you need to be really mindful of how you're using that power. Because remember that Seven of Swords. If you're using your magician energy in a sneaky or deceptive way, it's gonna backfire, you know? It's like, are you using your skills to manipulate someone, or are you using them to build something genuine? That's the big question here. So let's think about how this connects to those other cards, right? First, we have the Hierophant with all those traditional beliefs about love. Maybe the Magician is showing up to say, okay, you know what? You don't have to follow those rules anymore. You can create your own path. You have the power to define love on your own terms. It's like you're taking all those traditional ideas and you're transforming them into something new, something that actually resonates with you. But, you know, again, it's about being honest with yourself. Are you truly breaking free from those expectations, or are you just pretending to? And then we have the Tower, which, like, totally shook things up, right? The Magician can be, like, the rebuilding phase after the Tower. It's like, okay, everything fell apart, but now I have the opportunity to create something even better. I have the power to build a new foundation. But, the thing is, you have to be careful not to repeat the same mistakes, you know? The Tower came in to destroy something that wasn't working, so you need to make sure you're not just building the same old structure on shaky ground. Are you learning from the past, or are you just trying to put things back the way they were? And then there's the Seven of Pentacles, which is all about patience and long-term investment. The Magician can help you take those long-term goals and turn them into reality. It's like, you're not just planting seeds, you're actually nurturing them and making them grow. But, you can't expect to get there instantly. You will need time and effort. The Seven of Pentacles energy will show you that good things come to those who work hard and wait. It's a marathon, not a race. The Magician is helping you strategize to make the marathon easier and more enjoyable. The Emperor. That Emperor energy is about structure and control, and the Magician can work with that, right? It's like you're using your power to create order and stability in your love life. Maybe you're setting clear boundaries, communicating your needs effectively, and taking charge of your own happiness. But, you know, you don't want to become too controlling, right? The Magician is about manifesting your desires, but it's not about forcing things to happen. You have to be willing to surrender to the flow of the universe and trust that things will unfold in the right way. The Emperor might want to control everything, but the Magician knows when to let go. And then, oh boy, we get back to the Seven of Swords. The Magician can be like a double-edged sword here, right? Are you using your skills and resources for good, or are you using them to manipulate and deceive? Are you being honest with yourself and with others? It's like, are you a white magician or a dark magician? It's a choice you have to make. So, like, what does this all mean in practice, right? For some of you, this could mean that you're finally ready to put yourself out there and start dating. You've done the inner work, you've healed from the past, and you're confident in who you are and what you want. You're using your magician energy to attract the right kind of partner, someone who aligns with your values and supports your growth. Or it could mean that you're in a relationship already, but you're ready to take it to the next level. You're using your communication skills to deepen your connection, you're setting clear intentions for the future, and you're working together to create a shared vision. You are partners working together to become the best couple that you can be. But, it could also mean that you're facing some challenges in your love life, and you need to use your magician energy to overcome them. Maybe you're dealing with a difficult partner, a complicated situation, or some kind of obstacle that's preventing you from finding happiness. In that case, you need to be resourceful, strategic, and confident in your ability to manifest a positive outcome. The Magician will assist in helping you solve these problems. Maybe someone out there wants to reconnect with an old flame. You know that you can use your charms to get them back, but is that the right thing to do? Is that being honest with yourself? Is that the best possible choice for your future? The Magician shows that you can do it, but you need to consider if you should. You need to look deep inside yourself. For others, maybe the Magician is calling you to get out of your comfort zone. If you have been sitting at home and waiting for love to come to you, the Magician is here to shake you up. It's time to start swiping, start going out. It's time to put yourself out there and see what is waiting for you. The most important thing to remember with the Magician is that you have the power to create your own reality. You are in charge of your own destiny. You can create the life you want. The Magician is just there to remind you that you have what it takes to have what you want. But, you have to use that power responsibly. It's so important to be honest, ethical, and compassionate in all your interactions. Don't try to manipulate or control others. Focus on building genuine connections based on mutual respect and trust. The more that you do that, the closer you will be to attracting your perfect partner. And going back to that, building bridges theme, the Magician is all about creating connections, right? You're using your skills and resources to bridge the gap between yourself and others. You're building relationships based on open communication, shared values, and a genuine desire to connect. You are also building a relationship with yourself, and that is an important part of attracting healthy love into your life. Think about where you want to be in your life. Picture where you want to be in your perfect relationship. Then, really think about what small steps you can take to get there. Use the Magician energy to plan, and use the Emperor energy to take decisive action. And with Amazonite to center you, you can be sure that your love life is headed in the right direction. And you will have a lot of fun on the journey. What is next? Okay, so after all of that Magician energy, we have the world, which is like the perfect culmination, you know. The world is all about completion, fulfillment, and reaching the end of a major cycle. It's like you've learned all the lessons you were supposed to learn. You've overcome all the obstacles, and now you're finally ready to reap the rewards. In a love reading, this can mean so many things, right? It could mean finding your soulmate, achieving a deep sense of connection and harmony with your partner, or simply feeling completely satisfied with your love life. But it also means that you have become your best possible self and are fully secure in who you are as a person, regardless of your relationship status. Think about it with the Hierophant, the Tower, the Seven of Pentacles, the Emperor, the Seven of Swords, and the Magician. The world is like the grand finale, you know. It's like all those different pieces of the puzzle finally coming together to create a complete picture. The world is showing us that you've come full circle. It's like you started out with these traditional beliefs about love from the Hierophant, then the Tower just shattered them into a million pieces, right? But then you picked up those pieces with the Seven of Pentacles, and you started putting them back together in a new way, building a foundation that is strong and true and resilient. The Emperor steps in and helps you build the structure. The Seven of Swords tried to, throw a wrench in the works, but the Magician helped you navigate those challenges and stay true to your path, you know? And now, the world is showing you that all that hard work has paid off. You've created something beautiful and lasting. But the world isn't just about external achievements, right? It's also about inner wholeness. It's about feeling complete and content within yourself, regardless of your relationship status. This card is saying that you've integrated all the different aspects of yourself, the good and the bad, the light and the shadow, and you've come to accept yourself fully and unconditionally. It's like you've realized that you don't need someone else to complete you. You're already whole and complete on your own. But if you choose to share your life with someone, it's because you want to, not because you need to. That's a really powerful place to be, you know. For some of you, the world could represent finding your perfect partner, your soulmate, the one person who truly understands you and accepts you for who you are. This is someone who shares your values, supports your dreams, and makes you feel like you can conquer anything together. It's a relationship that is built on mutual respect, trust, and unconditional love. It's like you've finally found someone who sees you for who you truly are, flaws and all, and they love you even more for it. This is a partnership where you can be your authentic self without fear of judgment or rejection. It's a connection that is both deeply fulfilling and incredibly exciting. But the world isn't always about finding a romantic partner. It could also represent completing a karmic cycle, resolving past issues, and releasing old patterns that no longer serve you. It's like you've learned the lessons you were supposed to learn from past relationships, and you're now free to move on to something new and better. You might have gone through some painful experiences, but you've emerged stronger and wiser, you know. You've forgiven those who hurt you, you've forgiven yourself for your mistakes, and you're ready to start fresh with a clean slate. It's a really liberating feeling. You are ready to go into the future with excitement. The world is also about embracing the journey of life, with all its ups and downs, twists and turns. It's about recognizing that every experience, whether good or bad, is a valuable lesson that helps you grow and evolve. You've learned from the Tower and Hierophant situations. It's like you've stopped trying to control everything and you've started trusting the process, you know? You've realized that life isn't always going to go according to plan, and that's okay. You're willing to embrace the unknown and see where it takes you. And it all goes back to that Amazonite crystal, right? That centering energy. The world is about finding your center, your inner balance, and radiating that out into the world. It's about being grounded in your values and living in alignment with your purpose. It's like you found that place of inner peace and contentment that nothing can shake, you know? You're confident in who you are, you're clear about what you want, and you're ready to manifest your dreams into reality. The Amazonite has helped you align yourself with your goals. So, what is the world saying to you specifically? It's saying that you've done the work, you've put in the effort, and you're now ready to receive the rewards. You deserve to be happy, you deserve to be loved, and you deserve to live a life that is full of joy and fulfillment. You've gone through a lot of changes, but you're finally in the right place. It's time to celebrate your accomplishments, to acknowledge your growth, and to embrace the next chapter of your life with open arms. The universe is conspiring to bring you everything you desire. All you have to do is believe it. Just be honest with yourself and the world is yours. But remember, even though the world represents completion, it's also a beginning, you know. It's the end of one cycle and the start of another. So, as you celebrate your achievements and enjoy the fruits of your labor, also be thinking about what's next. What new adventures are you ready to embark on? What new goals are you ready to pursue? What new dreams are you ready to manifest? The world has opened so many doors for you. So yeah, the Hierophant, the Tower, the Seven of Pentacles, the Emperor, the Seven of Swords, the Magician, and now the world. It's been an incredible journey, right? And it's not over yet. It's just the beginning. Be open to new experiences. You're in an amazing place to start the next part of your life, and the possibilities are endless. Okay, let's see what the next card has in store for you. Okay, so, wow, let's bring it all together, right? We started with the Hierophant, which was all about those traditional beliefs about love, the ones you might have been carrying around without even realizing it, you know. The expectations from family, society, maybe even just yourself. Then, bam, the Tower came along and just blew everything up, right? It was like the universe saying, okay, those old structures aren't working anymore, it's time for a change. It was probably scary, maybe even painful, but it was necessary to clear the way for something new. And then we had the Seven of Pentacles, that card of patience and long-term investment. It was about taking a step back after all that chaos and reassessing your priorities, figuring out what you really want to create in your love life. You know, it's about planting those seeds and nurturing them over time, trusting that they'll eventually blossom into something beautiful. Then the Emperor comes along, and it's all about taking charge and rebuilding on your terms this time. Not just accepting what society dictates. You get to be in control. The Seven of Swords came in and through in a little chaos, maybe tempting you to take shortcuts or be a little dishonest to get what you want, right? But then the Magician showed up, reminding you of your power to manifest your desires, but also urging you to use that power wisely, with integrity and compassion. And then the World, the card of completion and fulfillment, showing you that all that hard work has paid off, that you've reached the end of a major cycle and are ready to embrace a new beginning. That's a lot, right? So what does it all mean? Where are we going from here? Well, that's where the Two of Cups comes in. The Two of Cups, oh, this card is just beautiful, you know. It's all about partnership, harmony, and deep connection. It's about finding someone who truly gets you, someone who sees you for who you are and loves you unconditionally. It's about a meeting of minds, a sharing of hearts, a connection that goes beyond just the surface level. It's like you've gone through all that upheaval, all that self-discovery, and now you're finally ready to share your life with someone special. This isn't just any connection, though. This is a soulmate connection, a karmic partnership, a bond that is destined to be. It's a relationship that is built on mutual respect, trust, and a deep sense of understanding. The Two of Cups is also about balance, right? It's about two individuals coming together as equals, each bringing their own strengths and weaknesses to the table. It's not about one person dominating the other, or about sacrificing your own needs to please your partner. It's about finding a way to support each other's growth and create a relationship that is mutually fulfilling. It's like you're two halves of a whole, each complementing the other, creating something even better than you could have on your own. And it's not just about romantic relationships, either. The Two of Cups can also represent a close friendship, a strong family bond, or even a harmonious working relationship. It's about finding those connections in your life that bring you joy, support, and a sense of belonging. It's about surrounding yourself with people who lift you up, who inspire you to be your best self, and who make you feel loved and appreciated. It's about creating a network of relationships that nourish your soul. But here's the thing, the Two of Cups isn't just about finding someone else to connect with. It's also about connecting with yourself, right? It's about loving yourself, accepting yourself, and being true to yourself. Because you can't truly connect with another person until you've connected with yourself first. It's like you have to fill your own cup before you can pour it out for someone else. So take some time to nurture yourself, to do the things that bring you joy, and to connect with your inner wisdom. Remember that Amazonite crystal and everything it has taught you. All the lessons that you have learned. Okay, so let's go back to those other cards and see how the Two of Cups fits in, right? With the Hierophant, it's like you're taking those traditional ideas about love and partnership, and you're redefining them in a way that works for you and your partner. You're creating your own traditions, your own rules, your own way of doing things. You're not just blindly following what society tells you to do. You're creating a relationship that is authentic and genuine. The two of you are creating your own world and living the way that is best for the two of you. And with the Tower, it's like you're building a new foundation for your relationship, one that is based on honesty, trust, and open communication. You're not afraid to confront difficult issues, to challenge each other, and to grow together. The upheaval of the Tower has made you stronger, more resilient, and more committed to creating a lasting bond. The storm has passed, and now the sun is shining. With the Seven of Pentacles, it's like you're investing in your relationship for the long haul, knowing that it takes time and effort to create something truly special. You're willing to put in the work, to nurture your connection, and to support each other's growth. You understand that relationships aren't always easy, but you're committed to staying the course and building a future together. You are thinking about your long-term plans and how those goals work together. And with the Emperor, it's like you're creating a partnership where you both feel empowered and supported, where you both have a voice and a say in the direction of your relationship. You're not trying to control each other, but rather to create a structure that allows you both to thrive. You're working together as a team, each bringing your own unique strengths and skills to the table. With the Seven of Swords, the Two of Cups is urging you to be honest and transparent with your partner, to avoid secrets and deception, and to build a relationship based on trust and integrity. If there are any hidden issues or unspoken resentments, now is the time to address them openly and honestly. Clear communication will create a stronger foundation for your relationship and prevent small problems from becoming big ones. And with the Magician, it's like you're using your powers of manifestation to create the relationship of your dreams, attracting the right person, setting clear intentions, and taking action to create a fulfilling and loving partnership. You're confident in your ability to manifest your desires, and you're using your skills and resources to build a relationship that is both magical and real, both practical and dreamy. So, what does all of this mean for you right now? It means that you're on the verge of something amazing, something truly special. You've gone through a lot, you've learned a lot, and you're now ready to step into a new phase of your love life with confidence and excitement. But here's some practical advice. First, be open to new connections. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, to meet new people, and to explore different possibilities. You never know where you might find that special someone. Remember the Amazonite that you chose. It can bring you back to center if you feel tested or pulled in multiple directions. Focus on your goals and you will find the love that you have been waiting for. Second, be honest with yourself and with others. Don't try to be someone you're not or to pretend to feel something you don't. Be authentic, be genuine, and let your true self shine. Third, communicate openly and honestly with your partner. Don't be afraid to express your feelings, to share your needs, and to address any issues that arise. Clear communication is the key to a healthy and lasting relationship. Fourth, nurture your connection. Make time for each other, do things that bring you joy, and show your love and appreciation in meaningful ways. Small gestures can make a big difference. A little goes a long way. And finally, trust the process. Believe that you deserve to be happy, believe that you are worthy of love, and trust that the universe is conspiring to bring you everything you desire. Have faith, stay positive, and never give up on your dreams. So yeah, the Hierophant, the Tower, the Seven of Pentacles, the Emperor, the Seven of Swords, the Magician, the World, and now the Two of Cups. It's been an incredible journey, right? And it's all leading you to this moment, to this opportunity to create a love life that is more fulfilling, more meaningful, and more magical than you ever thought possible. Embrace it, cherish it, and never let it go. Hey there, you chose the Agate Moon crystal, so welcome to your reading. This crystal is all about transformation, and that really fits with our theme today. Embracing change, releasing the past, welcoming the new. It looks like this reading is going to be all about shedding old skin and stepping into who you're truly meant to be. Okay, so the cards we have are the Seven of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. Wowza, that's a lot of swords energy. Swords are all about the mind, intellect, truth, and clarity, so get ready for some major mental breakthroughs, okay? This is also about cutting away anything that no longer serves you. Let's dive in, shall we? First up is the Seven of Wands. Okay, so right away, this card tells me that you've been feeling challenged, like you're constantly defending your position. You're standing your ground, right? You're up on a hill, battling against all these wands coming at you. It's like everyone is trying to knock you down or like questioning your choices. You might be feeling a little overwhelmed, like you have to constantly prove yourself. Have you been feeling that way? This could be in your career, your relationships, or even just within yourself, you know. Maybe you're facing opposition from family members who don't understand your life path, or maybe you're dealing with some seriously competitive colleagues at work. Perhaps you're just struggling to assert your boundaries and say no to people, and like feeling guilty about it, right? I feel that. Whatever it is, the Seven of Wands indicates that you're in a position where you have to fight for what you believe in, and honestly, that's exhausting, right? It can feel like you're constantly on the defensive, always having to justify your decisions. But here's the thing, the fact that you're standing your ground, even when it's tough, shows that you're incredibly resilient and brave. Don't underestimate that, okay? Think about a time when you had to really stand up for yourself. What was that like? How did it make you feel? It probably wasn't easy, but you did it, right? You faced the challenge head-on and you didn't back down. That's the energy of the Seven of Wands, and it's a powerful energy to have, even if it feels a little draining at times. Now, this card can also point to feeling like an imposter. Are you, like, questioning whether you're good enough or smart enough or experienced enough? Like, do you feel like you're constantly waiting to be exposed? This is a really common feeling, especially when you're stepping into new territory or pursuing big dreams. You might be looking around and thinking, everyone else seems to know what they're doing, but I'm just faking it till I make it. And guess what? Most people feel that way sometimes, so you are so not alone. The Seven of Wands is like a call to own your power and to recognize how far you've come. Even if you feel like you're winging it, trust that you have the skills and the knowledge to handle whatever comes your way. You've already overcome so much, and that's proof that you can handle whatever challenges you're facing now. Also, this card can sometimes indicate that you're facing resistance because you're on the right track. Like, maybe you're shaking things up, challenging the status quo, or doing something that others don't quite understand. And when you do that, people will sometimes try to bring you down or discourage you, simply because they're afraid of change, right? So if you're feeling resistance, take it as a sign that you're doing something right, and that you're on the path that you're meant to be on. It's also about knowing when to conserve your energy. You don't have to fight every single battle. Sometimes it's wiser to pick your battles and focus on what truly matters to you. You know. Ultimately, the Seven of Wands is a reminder that you are strong, capable, and resilient. You've faced challenges before, and you've come out on top. Trust in your abilities, stand your ground, and don't let anyone knock you down. You've got this. Now, let's see how this energy transforms into the next card, which is the Queen of Swords. Ooh, this is interesting. The Queen of Swords is like the evolved version of the Seven of Wands. After all those battles and challenges, you've gained clarity, wisdom, and a sharp intellect. You've learned to cut through the BS and see things as they really are, and she does not play, okay? She's direct, honest, and doesn't have time for drama, right? This card often represents a woman who is independent, intelligent, and fiercely honest. She's been through some tough times, but she's emerged stronger and wiser as a result. She's not afraid to speak her mind, and she values truth above all else. She's also incredibly discerning, able to see through manipulation and deception. I love her. So if this card represents you, it means that you've developed these qualities within yourself. You've learned to trust your intuition, to stand up for yourself, and to make decisions based on logic and reason rather than emotion. You're also likely someone who values honesty and integrity, and you expect the same from others. Think about a woman you admire who embodies these qualities. What is it about her that you find so inspiring? How can you cultivate those same qualities within yourself? What steps can you take to become more assertive, more confident, and more clear about what you want? The Queen of Swords is also about setting boundaries. After dealing with all those challenges in the Seven of Wands, You've learned the importance of protecting your energy and not letting others take advantage of you. You know your worth, and you're not afraid to say no to anything that doesn't align with your values or your goals. This card can also represent a time of healing and self-reflection. You might be processing past traumas or working through difficult emotions, but you're doing it with a sense of clarity and detachment. You're not wallowing in self-pity or getting caught up in drama. You're simply observing your feelings, learning from them, and moving forward with greater wisdom and understanding. The Queen of Swords is also associated with cutting away anything that no longer serves you. This could be a toxic relationship, a dead-end job, or even just a limiting belief that's holding you back. You have the strength and the clarity to let go of anything that's preventing you from reaching your full potential. This is also not a time to make rash decisions. The Queen makes very calculated, well-informed decisions only. She's all about using your mind to create the life you want. She's not afraid to be alone, and she actually values her independence. She knows that she doesn't need anyone else to complete her, and she's perfectly content in her own company. That's a really powerful place to be, right? But the Queen of Swords can also be a warning against being too cold or detached. It's important to balance your intellect with your emotions and not to become too critical or judgmental of yourself or others. Remember to show compassion and empathy, even as you're maintaining your boundaries and speaking your truth. She can sometimes come across as intimidating or unapproachable, but underneath that tough exterior, she has a kind and caring heart. She just knows that she needs to protect herself, and she's not afraid to do what it takes to stay true to herself and her values. So, embrace the energy of the Queen of Swords. Trust your intuition, speak your truth, and don't be afraid to cut away anything that's holding you back. You have the strength, the wisdom, and the clarity to create the life you desire, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Now, let's move on to the final card, the Ace of Swords. Oh, this is exciting. This is where all that hard work and clarity leads you. Get ready for a breakthrough. The Ace of Swords represents a new beginning, a fresh start, and a powerful surge of mental clarity. It's like a light bulb going off in your head, and suddenly everything becomes clear. You see the truth, you understand what needs to be done, and you're ready to take action. This card often appears when you're on the verge of a major breakthrough, like after all that fighting in the Seven of Wands, and all that clarity you've developed as the Queen of Swords. You've been working hard, processing your experiences, and now you're ready to take the next step. The Ace of Swords is a sign that you have the power and the ability to create something amazing. Think about an area of your life where you've been feeling stuck or confused. What is one small step you can take today to gain more clarity and move forward? How can you use your intellect and your intuition to make a decision that aligns with your highest good? This card is also about cutting away anything that's no longer serving you. Just like the Queen of Swords, it's about being honest with yourself about what you need to let go of in order to move forward. This could be a relationship, a job, a belief, or anything else that's holding you back from reaching your full potential. The Ace of Swords is a sign that you have the strength and the courage to make those tough decisions. You don't have to hold on to anything out of fear or obligation. You have the power to create a new beginning, and you deserve to live a life that's aligned with your truth. This card can also represent a new idea, a new project, or a new opportunity that's coming your way. It's like the universe is giving you a gift, a chance to create something amazing. Be open to new possibilities, and don't be afraid to take a risk. You never know where it might lead you, and you'll never know unless you take the leap. It is like a double-edged sword, though, right? It can be used for good or for evil. It's up to you to use your intellect and your power wisely, and to make decisions that are aligned with your values and your integrity. You can create something truly amazing, as long as you stay true to yourself and your vision. So, embrace the energy of the Ace of Swords. Be open to new beginnings, trust your intuition, and don't be afraid to take a risk. You have the power to create the life you desire, and the universe is supporting you every step of the way. Wow, so when we put all these cards together, it paints such a clear picture. You've been through a lot, facing challenges and defending your position, but you've emerged stronger and wiser as a result. You've developed a sharp intellect, you've learned to set boundaries, and you're not afraid to speak your truth. And now you're ready for a new beginning, a fresh start, and a powerful surge of mental clarity, okay? Remember our theme: embracing change, releasing the past, welcoming the new. This whole journey is about shedding those old layers, the ones that were formed through those battles in the Seven of Wands, and embracing your inner Queen of Swords so you can step into this new chapter with confidence and clarity. The Agate moon crystal is there to help you through this transformation, guiding you as you release the past and welcome the new. This reading is an invitation to own your power, to trust your intuition, and to create a life that's aligned with your highest good. You've got this. Now, let's pull some more cards to dive deeper into this new beginning and see what else the universe has in store for you. How exciting is that? Okay, wow, this is getting so interesting. So the next card we have is the Hermit. Okay, so after all that, breakthrough energy with the Ace of Swords and really stepping into your power, we have the Hermit. It's such a shift, right? So right away, this tells me that, you might need to take a step back, go within for a bit, It's like after all that action and forward movement, the universe is saying, okay, hold up, time to process. Does that make sense? The Hermit is all about introspection, solitude, and finding your own answers. It's like you've been fighting all these battles, right, with the Seven of Wands, and you've gained all this clarity and wisdom as the Queen of Swords, and you're ready to start something new with the Ace of Swords. But now you need to, retreat for a minute and figure out what it all means. It's like, before you go charging ahead, you need to, check in with yourself, Have you been feeling pulled to spend more time alone lately? Maybe you're craving some peace and quiet, or maybe you just need some time to, disconnect from the world and recharge. This card is a really strong indication that that's exactly what you need right now. And it's okay, It's not about isolating yourself forever, but just taking a temporary break to, reconnect with your inner self. Sometimes we get so caught up in the external world, in, our relationships, our careers, our social lives, that we forget to check in with ourselves, right? We forget to ask ourselves what we really want, what we really need, what we really believe. The Hermit is like a reminder to do just that. It's like a call to go on a spiritual journey, to seek wisdom and guidance from within. Have you been feeling like you need some guidance? Think of the Hermit as a wise old sage who's been through it all, He's holding his little lantern and he's like, come, sit with me, and let's explore the depths of your soul. He's not going to give you all the answers, but he's going to help you find them within yourself. And you know what's interesting? This card is really about, trusting your own intuition. After all that clarity from the Queen of Swords, it's about really honing in on your inner voice. It's like you've already proven to yourself that you're capable of making wise decisions, of setting boundaries, of speaking your truth. Now, it's about trusting that inner wisdom and letting it guide you forward. This card can also indicate that you're learning to become more self-reliant, that you're realizing you don't need to depend on others for validation or approval. You're finding strength and comfort in your own company, and that's a really powerful thing. It's like you're becoming your own best friend, your own guru, your own source of wisdom, okay? But it's also about not being afraid to ask for help when you need it. The Hermit isn't about complete isolation. It's about taking the time to strengthen your connection with yourself so that you can then connect with others from a place of authenticity and strength. Does that resonate? I feel like the Hermit is coming up now because you're at a crossroads, You've learned so much, you've grown so much, and now you're ready to, create a new path for yourself. But before you do that, you need to, get clear on what you truly want, what your values are, and what your purpose is. This could also mean, reevaluating a relationship. Have you been feeling like you need to, take a step back from a relationship to get clear on what you need? It doesn't necessarily mean the relationship is ending, but it could mean you need some space to figure out what you want the relationship to look like moving forward. What do you think about that? Or maybe you're feeling called to explore a new spiritual practice or to deepen your connection with your existing one. This card is a really strong indication that now is the time to do that. Like maybe you're feeling drawn to meditation, yoga, or spending time in nature. Whatever it is, listen to that inner calling and follow it. I really feel like, with the agate moon crystal, this is all about transformative solitude. Like using this time to really transform from the inside out. To release old patterns and beliefs that are no longer serving you, and to welcome in new ones that align with your highest good. Okay, so, practically speaking, how can you embrace the energy of the hermit right now? Well, first of all, schedule some time for yourself, okay? Even if it's just for 15 minutes a day, make sure you have some time to yourself to meditate, journal, or just simply be still. Turn off your phone, close your laptop, and just be present in the moment. Also, try to disconnect from social media for a while. I know it's hard, but it can be so beneficial. Social media can be so distracting and draining, and it can prevent you from connecting with yourself. So, give yourself a break and see how you feel. You might be surprised at how much better you feel when you're not constantly comparing yourself to others. Another thing you can do is to spend time in nature. Nature has a way of grounding us and connecting us to something bigger than ourselves. Go for a walk in the woods, sit by the ocean, or simply lie on the grass and look up at the sky. Let nature soothe your soul and help you reconnect with your inner self. And finally, trust your intuition, okay? Pay attention to your dreams, your gut feelings, and your synchronicities. The universe is always trying to communicate with you, and it's up to you to listen. Trust that you have all the answers you need within you, and that you're capable of making wise decisions for yourself. Wow, this is really powerful. The Hermit is such a beautiful card, and it's coming up at such a perfect time for you, I feel. It's like the universe is giving you permission to slow down, to go inward, and to reconnect with yourself on a deeper level. Embrace this time, trust your intuition, and know that you're exactly where you need to be. But okay, so now I'm super curious, where do we go from here, right? Because the Hermit is a very internal energy, so what's next? What's the universe going to throw at you next? Let's pull another card and see, okay. Okay, so after all that Hermit energy, needing to go inward, the next card is the Ten of Cups. Oh my gosh, are you seeing this? What a shift. The Ten of Cups is all about, emotional fulfillment, joy, harmony, all the good stuff when it comes to relationships and family, you know. So after all that, solitary soul-searching, it looks like you're heading towards a time of, deep connection and happiness. Does that resonate with you at all? I feel like it does. It's like you've done the inner work, right? You've taken the time to, connect with yourself, to understand your needs, and now you're ready to, share that with others. So the Ten of Cups is really about, celebrating the love and joy in your life, you know. It's about feeling grateful for the people you have around you and really nurturing those relationships. It's about, creating a sense of harmony and balance in your home and your family life. It's like all that stuff you were fighting for in the Seven of Wands, all that clarity you gained as the Queen of Swords, and that new beginning from the Ace of Swords. It's all leading to this feeling of complete, emotional fulfillment. Isn't that amazing? Picture the card, right? You have this beautiful family, standing under a rainbow of cups, overflowing with love and happiness. It's pure bliss, right? So this could mean a lot of things for you, okay? It could mean that you're entering a new phase in your romantic relationship, maybe you're getting engaged, or moving in together, or just deepening your connection in a really significant way. Or it could mean that you're strengthening your bonds with your family members, maybe you're resolving old conflicts, or creating new traditions, or just spending more quality time together. Or it could even mean that you're finding a sense of belonging in your community, maybe you're joining a new group, or volunteering for a cause you care about, or just feeling more connected to the people around you. See what I mean? But okay, so here's the thing, right? With the agate moon crystal, it's all about transformation. So this isn't just about surface level happiness. It's about transforming your relationships into something truly fulfilling and meaningful. It's about going from, just having relationships to actually nurturing them and creating a sense of, deep connection. It's like taking that individual work from the hermit and bringing it into your relationships, right? It's about showing up authentically, being vulnerable, and really communicating your needs and desires. Does that make sense? And this could also mean that you're attracting new relationships into your life, like people who really resonate with you on a soul level, people who share your values and your passions. It's like after all that time spent alone, you're now vibrating at a higher frequency, and you're attracting people who are on the same wavelength, It's like you've become a magnet for love and joy. But okay, so here's a little word of caution, right? Because the Ten of Cups can sometimes be a little bit idealistic, It's like it can be easy to get caught up in the fantasy of, the perfect relationship or the perfect family, and to forget that, real life is messy and complicated, right? So this card is also a reminder to be realistic in your expectations and to accept people for who they are, flaws and all. It's about understanding that relationships take work and that there will be challenges along the way. But if you're willing to put in the effort, the rewards can be incredible. It's not about finding the perfect relationship, it's about creating a fulfilling relationship. It's about choosing someone who is willing to grow with you, who supports your dreams, and who loves you for who you truly are, even when you're not at your best. Does that make sense? It's like you're not looking for perfection, you're looking for authenticity. You're looking for someone who is real, someone who is honest, and someone who is willing to, show up and do the work. And this card can also be a reminder to appreciate what you already have, right? It's so easy to get caught up in wanting more, or in comparing your life to others. But the Ten of Cups is like a gentle nudge to stop and appreciate the blessings that are already present in your life. It's about focusing on the good things, the things that bring you joy, and the people who make you feel loved and supported. It's like taking a moment to really savor the sweetness of life, to appreciate the beauty that surrounds you, and to feel grateful for all that you have. It's like practicing gratitude, And I think, going back to that Seven of Wands energy, right? All those challenges and battles you were facing. It's like the Ten of Cups is showing you that, all that hard work was worth it. It's like you were fighting for something real, you were fighting for your happiness, and now you're finally starting to see the fruits of your labor. It's like all those obstacles you overcame, all those boundaries you set, all those tough decisions you made. It's like they all led you to this place of, emotional fulfillment. Isn't that amazing? It's also like, by knowing yourself as the Queen of Swords, you are really able to attract a healthy relationship. The Queen of Swords knows what she wants and needs, and she doesn't settle for less. And she's also able to communicate her needs clearly and effectively. So by embodying that energy, you're setting yourself up for success in your relationships. You're attracting people who are also clear about what they want, and who are willing to communicate openly and honestly. So, practically speaking, how can you embrace the energy of the Ten of Cups right now? Well, first of all, make an effort to connect with your loved ones, okay? Schedule some quality time with your partner, your family, or your friends. Put down your phone, turn off the TV, and just be present with them, Really listen to what they have to say, and share your own thoughts and feelings openly and honestly. Show them that you care, and let them know how much they mean to you. Also, try to create a more harmonious environment in your home. Declutter your space, add some plants, or simply rearrange the furniture to create a more inviting and comfortable atmosphere. Light some candles, play some music, and make your home a sanctuary where you can relax and recharge. Make it a place where you feel safe, loved, and supported. And practice gratitude, okay? Take a few minutes each day to write down the things you're grateful for. Focus on the good things in your life and appreciate the blessings that are already present. This will help you to shift your perspective and to attract even more joy and abundance into your life. And finally, be open to new relationships, okay? Put yourself out there, join a new group, or volunteer for a cause you care about. You never know who you might meet, and you never know what kind of connections you might make. Be open to the possibility of finding love, friendship, or just a sense of belonging in your community. The universe is always conspiring to bring you what you need, so trust that you will attract the right people into your life at the right time. Okay, so, this is all so exciting, right? The Ten of Cups is such a beautiful card, and it's coming up at such a perfect time for you. It's like, after all that inner work and transformation, you're now ready to, experience the joy and fulfillment of deep connection. Embrace this energy, nurture your relationships, and trust that you are worthy of love and happiness. Okay, so now I'm, dying to know. What's the final piece of the puzzle, right? How do you sustain this happiness and, keep this beautiful energy flowing? What do you think is coming up next? Let's pull the last card and see. Okay, so after all of that Ten of Cups amazingness, the card we have next is the Star. Oh my gosh, how perfect is that? The Star is all about hope, inspiration, healing, just this beautiful, positive energy, So after finding all that fulfillment in your relationships with the Ten of Cups, it's this card is telling you to keep the faith, to stay optimistic, and to believe in yourself and your dreams, okay? The Star is one of those cards that just, radiates good vibes, It's after a period of darkness or difficulty, you're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. It's you're filled with this renewed sense of hope and inspiration, and you're ready to, create something beautiful in your life, This card often represents a time of healing and recovery. After a challenging experience, you're finally starting to feel whole again. It's you're letting go of the past and embracing the future with open arms, It's also about trusting in the universe and knowing that everything is happening for a reason, even if you don't understand it right now. The Star is a reminder that you are connected to something bigger than yourself, and that you are always supported and guided, even when you feel lost or alone, right? So, how does this connect to all the other cards we've pulled, right? Well, remember that Seven of Wands energy, all those challenges and battles you were facing. It's the Star is showing you that you made it through, You overcame those obstacles, you stood your ground, and now you're being rewarded with this beautiful sense of hope and inspiration, And remember the Queen of Swords and all that clarity and wisdom you gained. It's the Star is telling you to use that wisdom to guide you forward, to trust your intuition, and to make decisions that are aligned with your highest good. And the Ace of Swords, that new beginning. The Star is illuminating that path, It's showing you the potential for something truly amazing, and it's encouraging you to take that leap of faith and go for it. It's the universe is saying, yes, this is the right direction, keep going. And then, of course, we have the Hermit, that time of introspection and solitude. It's the Star is showing you that all that inner work was worth it, You took the time to connect with yourself, to understand your needs, and now you're ready to shine your light out into the world. It's that time alone really helped you clarify things, so now you can really embrace this hope. You know what I mean? And then the Ten of Cups, all that love and joy in relationships. The Star is amplifying that energy, It's telling you to cherish those connections, to nurture those relationships, and to let your love shine brightly. It's this is the universe giving you the green light to fully embrace your happiness and to share it with the world. So, what does this all mean for you in your life, right now? Well, it could mean a lot of different things, depending on your specific situation, okay? Maybe you've been going through a tough time lately, and you're finally starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. The Star is a sign that things are going to get better, that you're going to heal and recover, and that you're going to find happiness again, okay? Or maybe you've been feeling lost or confused about your path, and you're looking for some guidance. The Star is like a beacon, showing you the way forward, illuminating your purpose, and helping you to connect with your inner wisdom. Or maybe you've been dreaming of something big, something amazing, but you've been afraid to go for it. The Star is like a cosmic cheerleader, encouraging you to take that leap of faith, to believe in yourself, and to follow your dreams no matter how crazy they may seem. It's like the universe is saying, "You've got this. I believe in you. Now go out there and make it happen." Sometimes the star can also indicate a connection to something artistic. Are you being called to express yourself creatively? Like maybe you've wanted to paint or write or sing or dance. The star is a great sign that now is the time to explore those talents. It's like you have this wellspring of inspiration inside you and you need to let it flow. Don't hold back, okay? Let your creativity shine. And it can also be about, humanitarian efforts. Are you feeling called to help others? To make a difference in the world? The star is often associated with compassion and service. Maybe you're being guided to volunteer your time, donate to a cause you care about, or simply offer a helping hand to someone in need. It's like by sharing your light with others, you're not only making their lives better, but you're also fulfilling your own purpose. Does that resonate? So, practically speaking, how can you embrace the energy of the star right now, okay? First of all, take some time to connect with nature, okay? Go for a walk in the park, sit by the ocean, or simply look up at the stars at night. Nature has a way of calming our minds, opening our hearts, and connecting us to something bigger than ourselves. It's like nature is a reminder that we are all part of something beautiful and interconnected. Also, practice gratitude, okay? Take a few minutes each day to write down the things you're grateful for. Focus on the good things in your life and appreciate the blessings that are already present. This will help you to shift your perspective and to attract even more positive energy into your life. It's like gratitude is a magnet for miracles. And nurture your creativity, okay? Make time for activities that bring you joy and allow you to express yourself. Paint, write, sing, dance, play music, whatever makes your heart sing, do it. It's like creativity is a form of self-care and it's essential for our well-being. Also, believe in yourself, okay? Trust in your abilities, have faith in your dreams, and know that you are capable of anything you set your mind to. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. You are a star, and you are meant to shine brightly. With that agate moon crystal, it's like this is about transforming your hope into something real. It's not just about wishful thinking. It's about taking that hope and turning it into action. It's about using that inspiration to create something tangible, something that will make a difference in your life and in the lives of others. It's like the transformation is not just about feeling hopeful, it's about becoming a beacon of hope for others. And remember that the agate moon is about releasing the old and welcoming the new. So, what old beliefs or patterns are you ready to release so you can fully embrace this new hope? What limiting thoughts are you ready to let go of so you can shine your light even brighter? Okay, so this is all so amazing, right? The star is such a beautiful card, and it's coming up at such a perfect time for you. It's like, after all that inner work and relationship fulfillment, you're now ready to fully embrace your potential and to share your light with the world. This is like a cosmic thumbs up. Embrace this energy, keep the faith, and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Okay, but how does it all come together? How do you make this star energy a lasting part of your life? What's the final piece of the puzzle? I am so excited to see what the last card is. Let's pull it. Okay, so after all that amazing star energy, right? That hope and inspiration, it's so beautiful. The card that's coming up now to help you keep that energy flowing is the Eight of Wands. Whoa, talk about a shift, right? Because we just had the star, this ethereal, dreamy card, and now we have the Eight of Wands, which is bam, action, movement. Things happening fast, so it's the universe is saying, okay, you've got the hope, you've got the inspiration, now it's time to put it into motion. How exciting is that? Does that resonate at all? Because, we've been through this whole journey, right? From the challenges of the Seven of Wands to the clarity of the Queen of Swords, to that new beginning with the Ace of Swords, and then going inward with the Hermit, and finding that amazing connection with the Ten of Cups, and then feeling all that hope with the Star. It's like everything has been building up to this moment of rapid progress and forward momentum. Okay, so what does the Eight of Wands even mean, right? Well, in general, this card is all about speed, action, and movement. It's things are happening quickly, opportunities are coming your way, and you need to be ready to seize them. It's like the universe is like throwing things at you, and you need to be able to catch them, you know? This card often appears when things are like finally starting to move after a period of delay or stagnation. It's like you've been waiting for something to happen, and now it's finally here, and it's happening fast, right? It can also represent travel, especially long-distance travel, or even just a change of scenery. It's like you're feeling restless, you're feeling like you need to get out and explore, and the universe is like, okay, go for it. You know. And the Eight of Wands can also indicate communication, especially rapid communication like emails, texts, phone calls, all coming in at once. It's like you're getting a lot of information, and you need to be able to process it quickly and make decisions, right? Think about a time when you felt like things were happening really fast. What was that like? How did you handle it? Did you feel overwhelmed, or did you feel energized? The Eight of Wands is like a reminder to stay grounded, to stay focused, and to trust that you can handle whatever comes your way. You know, this card is also about aligning with the flow of the universe. It's like, when things are moving quickly, it's important to go with the flow, to not resist the change, but to embrace it, you know. It's like trusting that the universe knows what it's doing, and that everything is happening for a reason. And sometimes the Eight of Wands can also indicate a need to be decisive, right? It's like, you can't, like, overthink things, you need to make quick decisions and trust your gut. It's like, you've been given all the information you need, now it's time to act. This card is like a reminder to not get caught up in analysis paralysis, but to trust your instincts and move forward with confidence. This is all about, like, taking inspired action, you know? So does that make sense? Okay, so like, how does this relate to love and relationships, right? Because that's what we're really interested in, right? Well, in the context of love, the Eight of Wands can indicate a whirlwind romance, like meeting someone and falling in love really fast. It's like that spark is immediate and things just take off from there. How exciting is that? Or it can mean that a relationship is moving to the next level quickly, like maybe you're getting engaged or moving in together or just deepening your commitment in a significant way. It's like you're both on the same page and you're both ready to take that leap, you know. The Eight of Wands can also indicate that you're going to be hearing from someone soon, like maybe an ex is reaching out, or maybe someone you've been interested in is finally making a move. It's like that communication is flowing, and you're going to be getting some important information, right? Think about your current relationship or your dating life. Are things moving quickly, or are they feeling stagnant? Are you waiting to hear from someone, or are you ready to take things to the next level? The Eight of Wands is like a sign that things are about to pick up speed, and you need to be ready for it. And this card can also indicate travel with a partner, like maybe you're planning a romantic getaway, or maybe you're just taking a road trip together. It's like you're both feeling adventurous and you want to explore the world together. It's like this can really spice things up and help you like reconnect, you know. The Eight of Wands in love is like being open to possibilities and trusting the timing of the universe. It's like not trying to force anything, but just letting things unfold naturally, you know? It's like, if it's meant to be, it will be, and it will happen quickly. This could also mean you and a partner are working towards a shared goal together. Maybe you are building something, starting a project, or launching a business. This card is like working together quickly, you know? It's a great energy to have for a partnership. So, like, what do you think about all that? Okay, so like, what are some potential blockages that could prevent this energy from flowing, right? Well, one of the biggest blockages is resistance to change, right? It's like if you're afraid of things moving too fast, or if you're clinging to the past, you're going to block the energy of the Eight of Wands. It's like you need to be open to new experiences. You need to be willing to let go of what's no longer serving you, and you need to trust that the universe knows what it's doing. Another blockage can be overthinking, right? It's like if you're constantly analyzing everything, if you're second-guessing your decisions, you're going to slow things down. It's like you need to trust your instincts, you need to make quick decisions, and you need to move forward with confidence. Does that make sense? Also, like fear of commitment, right? If you're afraid of getting hurt, if you're afraid of making the wrong decision, you're going to sabotage the relationship. It's like you need to be willing to take a risk, you need to be willing to be vulnerable, and you need to trust that love is worth fighting for. It can also be like poor communication, right? If you're not communicating your needs and desires clearly, if you're not being honest with yourself and your partner, you're going to create misunderstandings and conflict. It's like you need to be open and honest, you need to be willing to listen, and you need to be willing to work through any challenges that come your way. Also, like not prioritizing your relationship, right? If you're too busy with work, if you're neglecting your partner, if you're not making time for romance, you're going to create distance. It's like you need to make your relationship a priority, you need to make time for each other, and you need to show your love and appreciation. So, like, how can you avoid these blockages, right? The best way is to just trust the flow. Okay, so like, how do you trust the timing of the universe, right? Because that's really what this is all about. Well, first of all, you need to let go of control, right? It's like you can't control everything, you can't force things to happen on your timeline. You need to trust that the universe has a plan for you, and that everything will happen at the right time. Does that make sense? And you also need to be patient, right? It's like, things don't always happen when we want them to, but that doesn't mean they're not going to happen. It just means that the universe is preparing us for something even better. This reminds me of the agate moon crystal, right? Transformation doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, but it's always worth it, you know. So just like, keep the faith, stay optimistic, and trust that everything is working out for your highest good. And you also need to be open to receiving, right? It's like, the universe is always sending us gifts, but we need to be open to receiving them. We need to be willing to say yes to new opportunities. We need to be willing to embrace change, and we need to be willing to let love into our lives. You know, it's like the universe is abundant and there's enough for everyone, but we need to be open to receiving it. Like, this card is telling you to go for it. Wow, okay, so like, this is all so exciting, right? The Eight of Wands is such a dynamic card, and it's coming up at such a perfect time for you. It's like, after all that inner work and relationship fulfillment, you're now ready to, like, take action and move forward with confidence, you know. Embrace this energy, trust the flow, and get ready for things to happen fast. So, like, what's the final piece of the puzzle, right? How do you integrate this energy into your life and make the most of this opportunity? I'm so excited to see what the next card is. Okay, so like, after all that whirlwind energy of the Eight of Wands, right? Like, things are happening fast, you're moving forward with confidence. The final card is Temperance. Like, wow, that is such a perfect way to round everything out, right? Because temperance is all about balance, harmony, moderation, like finding that middle ground. So it's like the universe is saying, okay, you're moving fast, you're taking action, but don't forget to stay grounded. Don't forget to maintain balance in your life, you know? Because we just had this star energy of hope and now temperance. It's like not losing sight of reality. It's about finding that perfect blend of action and reflection, you know? Because otherwise you risk burnout. Does that resonate with you? It's like a cosmic check, you know? Like making sure you are packing yourself so you don't burn out after all the stuff that's about to happen. So, like, what does temperance even mean in general? Well, this card is all about bringing together different energies, different aspects of yourself, and creating something beautiful and harmonious, right? It's about finding that perfect balance between extremes, between passion and patience, between give and take. It's about, like, alchemy, you know? Like, mixing different ingredients to create something new and amazing. This card often represents, like, a need for moderation in all areas of your life. Like, not too much work, not too little play, not too much excitement, not too little rest, you know? It's about finding that sweet spot where you feel balanced, centered, and at peace. It's like, self-regulation is a superpower, and it's something that's earned by going through highs and lows. It can be a tough thing to learn, but so worth it. Temperance can also represent, like, healing and integration, right? It's like, you've been through some tough times, You've experienced some challenges, and now you're ready to integrate those experiences into your life and move forward with greater wisdom and understanding. It's about accepting all parts of yourself, the good and the bad, and finding a way to make them work together. And temperance can also indicate a need for diplomacy and compromise, right? It's you're dealing with different people, different perspectives, and you need to find a way to create harmony and understanding. It's about being open-minded, being willing to see things from other people's point of view, and being willing to compromise in order to achieve a common goal. It's a great card for creating win-win situations. Think about a time when you felt really balanced and harmonious in your life. What was that like? What were you doing? How were you feeling? Temperance is like a reminder to cultivate that feeling in your life, to create an environment where you feel centered, grounded, and at peace. So, how does this connect to all the other cards we've pulled, right? Well, remember that Seven of Wands energy, all those challenges and battles you were facing. Temperance is like a reminder to approach those challenges with balance and moderation, to not get too caught up in the drama, but to find a way to create harmony and understanding. It's about standing your ground, but also being willing to compromise. And remember the Queen of Swords and all that clarity and wisdom you gained. Temperance is like a reminder to use that wisdom with compassion and understanding, to not be too critical or judgmental, but to approach people with an open heart and an open mind. It's not letting your head override your heart. And the Ace of Swords, that new beginning. Temperance is like a reminder to approach that new beginning with balance and patience, to not rush into things too quickly, but to take your time and create a solid foundation. It's about building something that will last. And then, of course, we have the Hermit, that time of introspection and solitude. Temperance is like a reminder to balance that time alone with time spent with others, to not isolate yourself completely, but to connect with people who support and uplift you. It's about finding that perfect blend of independence and connection. And then, the Ten of Cups, all that love and joy in relationships. Temperance is like a reminder to maintain balance and harmony in those relationships, to not get too caught up in the fairy tale, but to be realistic and honest with yourself and your partner. It's about creating a relationship that is both passionate and sustainable. It's about bringing a dose of practicality to something that can sometimes seem so idealistic. And then, the Star, that hope and inspiration. Temperance is like a reminder to temper that hope with reality, to not get too carried away with your dreams, but to take practical steps to make them a reality. It's about turning your dreams into something tangible. And finally, the Eight of Wands, all that action and speed. Temperance is like a reminder to balance that action with reflection, to not get so caught up in the whirlwind that you forget to take care of yourself. It's about pausing, taking a deep breath, and making sure you're still on the right track. Okay, so how does this relate to love and relationships, right? Well, in the context of love, temperance can indicate a need for balance and harmony in your relationships, right? It's you need to find that perfect blend of passion and patience, of give and take, of independence and connection. It's about being willing to compromise and meet in the middle. It's about not expecting your partner to read your mind, and being willing to communicate your needs and desires clearly and respectfully. It can also mean you're learning to balance your own needs with the needs of your partner. You can both be independent, but still supportive of each other. You are both able to pursue your dreams, but you also have to take care of your own needs. Also, it means being honest with yourself and your partner about what you need in the relationship and finding a way to meet those needs. And temperance can also indicate a need for healing and forgiveness, right? It's you've been hurt in the past, you've experienced some challenges in your relationships, and now you're ready to forgive yourself and your partner and move forward with greater love and understanding. This reminds me again of the agate moon crystal, right? It's about letting go of the past and embracing the future with an open heart, which you have been doing this whole reading. Also, think of the Queen of Swords too. If you have a lot of walls up, now is the time to gently take them down. It's a healing process, but it will bring you closer to people. So, what are some practical ways to cultivate this energy of temperance in your life, right? First of all, practice moderation in all things, right? It's don't overwork yourself, don't overspend, don't overeat, don't overdrink, It's about finding that sweet spot where you feel balanced and centered. Remember, you are worthy of rest. Also, make time for self-care, right? It's do things that nourish your body, mind, and soul, whether it's exercise, meditation, spending time in nature, or just relaxing with a good book, It's about taking care of yourself so you can take care of others. Again, this reminds me of that Queen of Swords, right? The evolved form is about really taking care of yourself, setting boundaries, all that jazz. Also, practice forgiveness, right? It's let go of grudges, let go of resentments, and forgive yourself and others for past mistakes, It's about freeing yourself from the past so you can move forward with an open heart. Forgiveness is the key to freeing yourself. Also communicate openly and honestly with your partner, right? It's share your thoughts and feelings, listen to their thoughts and feelings, and be willing to compromise in order to create a harmonious relationship, It's about building a relationship based on trust and understanding. This will require vulnerability, but it's so worth it. And finally, trust the timing of the universe, right? It's let go of control, let go of expectations, and trust that everything is happening for a reason, It's about having faith that you are on the right path and that you will eventually reach your destination. I know it can be tough to trust, but remember that what's meant for you won't pass you. Okay, so this is all so amazing, right? Temperance is such a beautiful card, and it's coming up at such a perfect time for you. It's after all that action and excitement, you're now ready to find balance and harmony in your life and in your relationships, The cards don't lie, So embrace this energy, practice moderation, cultivate self-care, and trust that everything is working out for your highest good. You've got this. This reading is all about you embracing change, releasing the past, and welcoming the new. These cards all culminated to this message. You got this. Remember, you are strong, you are wise, and you are capable of creating a life filled with love, joy, and harmony. This reading is your guide, and you can always come back to it when you need. You are so worthy, remember that. And with the help of the agate moon crystal, you will absolutely transform. Trust in the process. Hi, my friend. Welcome to your reading. So glad you're here and you chose the Jasper star. This crystal is all about balance, which is so perfect because the reading today is about finding harmony. It's about weaving together independence and togetherness, which I think is something that a lot of people struggle with, right? Okay, so let's dive right in. We have the Hanged Man, Wheel of Fortune, and the Sun. Okay, wow. That's like a journey right there, isn't it? So the Hanged Man, first of all, this card often gets a bad rap, but honestly, it's not a bad card at all. It's really about perspective, you might be feeling stuck right now, or things are on hold, but it's a voluntary thing in a way. Or maybe not voluntary, but it's happening for a reason, and you have the power to shift your perspective on it. It's are you willing to surrender to the moment? Are you willing to see things from a different angle? Because that's really what this card is asking you to do. It's a pause, yeah, but it's a pregnant pause. Something is brewing underneath the surface. You're being asked to just chill out for a second and look at things differently. Maybe there's a situation in your life where you feel like you're constantly fighting against the current. You're pushing and pushing, but nothing's happening. The Hanged Man is saying, okay, maybe stop pushing for a second. Just float. See where the current takes you. It's about releasing control, which I know is super hard for some people. But trust me, it can be so freeing. And I think, in the context of finding harmony between independence and togetherness, this card is saying that maybe you need to release some of your preconceived notions about what a relationship should look like. Maybe you're holding on too tightly to your independence, and you're afraid of losing yourself in a relationship. Or maybe you're so focused on being in a relationship that you're sacrificing your own needs and desires. The Hanged Man is asking you to find that balance, to surrender to the idea that maybe, just maybe, things could be different than you imagined. It could also mean that you're waiting on something, Like, you're waiting for someone to come into your life, or you're waiting for a relationship to progress. And it feels like it's taking forever. But the thing is, this waiting period is actually really important. It's giving you time to prepare, to reflect, and to get clear on what you really want. Think of it like this: you're planting a seed. You can't just plant it and then dig it up every day to see if it's growing, right? You have to trust that it's doing its thing underground. You have to be patient and let it grow in its own time. The Hanged Man is that period of waiting and trusting. And honestly, it can be a really beautiful time if you allow it to be. It's a time for introspection, for self-discovery, and for connecting with your intuition. So yeah, don't be afraid of the Hanged Man. Embrace the pause, embrace the surrender, and trust that everything is happening exactly as it should be. Now, let's move on to the Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, things are about to get interesting. So after this period of waiting, of surrender, boom, the Wheel of Fortune comes in and shakes things up. This is all about change, destiny, and cycles. Things are starting to move, my friend. The wheel is turning and you're being propelled forward. It's like all that waiting you were doing with the Hanged Man, it was building up momentum. And now the universe is like, okay, it's go time. This card is a reminder that life is cyclical. There are ups and downs, ebbs and flows. Sometimes you're on top of the world and sometimes you're in the depths of despair. But the thing is, nothing lasts forever. The Wheel of Fortune is saying that whatever you're going through right now, it's not permanent. Things are going to change. And in the context of relationships, this could mean a lot of things. It could mean that a new relationship is about to come into your life. Someone completely unexpected is going to walk through the door and turn your world upside down. Or, if you're already in a relationship, it could mean that things are about to shift in a big way. Maybe you're going to move in together, get engaged, or even start a family. Or maybe it's something less conventional. Maybe you're going to decide to open up your relationship, or travel the world together, or start a business. The possibilities are endless. The key thing is to be open to change. Don't resist the current, embrace the unknown, and trust that the universe has your back. I feel like this card is also highlighting the importance of fate. Like, sometimes things are just meant to be. You can't force them, and you can't control them. You just have to surrender to the flow of life and trust that everything is happening for a reason. Maybe you've been trying to manifest a relationship for a long time, but it hasn't happened yet. The Wheel of Fortune is saying that maybe you need to stop trying so hard. Maybe you need to release your expectations and just trust that the universe will bring you the right person at the right time. And it's not just about romantic relationships, either. This card could also be about friendships, family relationships, or even your relationship with yourself. Maybe you're going to reconnect with an old friend, or heal a rift with a family member. Or maybe you're going to finally start to love and accept yourself for who you are. The Wheel of Fortune is all about embracing the cycles of life and trusting that everything is unfolding perfectly. It's like, when you're on a roller coaster. There's that moment when you're at the very top and you're looking down at the steep drop and you're like, oh my God, this is terrifying. But then you go over the edge and it's exhilarating, right? It's scary, but it's also fun. That's kind of what the Wheel of Fortune is like. It's a little bit scary because you don't know what's going to happen next. But it's also really exciting because you know that something amazing is on the horizon. So yeah, buckle up, my friend. The wheel is turning and you're in for a wild ride. And now for the grand finale, the sun. Oh, this card just radiates pure joy and happiness. After the pause of the Hanged Man and the changeability of the Wheel of Fortune, you're stepping into the light. This is all about abundance, success, and clarity. The sun is shining down on you, my friend, and everything is going to be okay. This card is a reminder that you are worthy of happiness, love, and success. You deserve to feel good, and you deserve to have everything you desire. And in the context of relationships, this is huge. This could mean that you're finally finding the love of your life. Someone who makes you feel seen, heard, and appreciated. Someone who brings out the best in you and supports you in all your dreams. Or, if you're already in a relationship, it could mean that things are reaching a new level of intimacy and joy. You're feeling more connected than ever before, and you're both radiating happiness. It's like you're finally in alignment with your true purpose, and your relationship is a reflection of that. The sun is also about clarity. Maybe you've been feeling confused or uncertain about something in your life. This card is saying that the fog is lifting. You're starting to see things more clearly, and you're able to make decisions with confidence. This is especially important in relationships. Maybe you've been struggling to communicate with your partner, or maybe you've been unsure about whether or not you're on the right path. The sun is saying that those doubts are fading away. You're both able to see each other clearly, and you're both committed to creating a happy and fulfilling relationship. It's like, when you're driving on a foggy day and you can barely see the road in front of you. It's scary, and you're constantly worried about crashing. But then, the sun comes out, and suddenly everything is clear. You can see the road, you can see the other cars, and you can drive with confidence. That's what the sun is like. It's like you've been driving in the fog for a while, but now the sun is shining, and you can finally see where you're going. I feel like, with the balancing energy of the Jasper star, the independence and togetherness theme, and then landing on the sun, you're really finding that sweet spot where you can be your own person, have your own life, but also share it with someone in a way that just amplifies the joy. And it's not just about romantic relationships, either. This card could also be about your relationship with yourself. Maybe you're finally starting to love and accept yourself for who you are. You're feeling confident, radiant, and full of life. You're embracing your flaws and celebrating your strengths. And as a result, you're attracting positive energy and attracting the right people into your life. The sun is all about shining your light and sharing your gifts with the world. It's about living authentically and embracing your true self. So, yeah, my friend, get ready to bask in the sunshine. You've been through a lot, but you've learned so much along the way. And now, you're ready to step into your power and create a life that is full of joy, love, and abundance. What an amazing trio of cards. I'm so excited to see what else comes up for you today. Okay, so after all that sunshine, we have the Hermit. Now, don't freak out, okay? Because seeing the Hermit after the sun doesn't mean the party's over. It's not like, oh no, the happiness was a lie. Not at all, it's more like, okay, imagine you've been basking in the sun, feeling amazing, right? But after a while, even the sun can get a little intense. You need a little shade, a little time to cool down and integrate all that solar energy. That's what the Hermit is offering you. Think of it this way. The sun is all about outward expression, sharing your joy with the world. The Hermit is about inward reflection, connecting with your inner wisdom. And both are equally important. You can't just be on all the time, right? You need those moments of solitude to recharge, to get clear on what you really want, and to make sure you're living in alignment with your values. So, in the context of finding harmony between independence and togetherness, the Hermit is saying, okay, you've experienced this amazing connection, this incredible joy. Now, take some time to really understand what that means for you. It's like, don't just jump headfirst into this new relationship or this new phase of your relationship without really thinking about it. Take a step back, go inward, and ask yourself, what do I need right now? What am I learning from this experience? How can I bring my whole self to this relationship while still honoring my own needs? Maybe it means carving out some alone time, even when you're totally smitten with this person. Like maybe you need to say, hey, I love spending time with you, but I also need a night to myself to read or meditate or just chill out. And that's totally okay. It doesn't mean you love them any less. It just means you're honoring your own needs and maintaining your independence. Or maybe it means taking a solo trip. Like going on a weekend getaway by yourself to reconnect with nature, or visit a museum, or just wander around a new city. It can be so incredibly refreshing to get away from everything and everyone and just be with yourself. I feel like this card is also highlighting the importance of self-reflection in relationships. Like, it's not just about what the other person is doing or not doing. It's about what you're bringing to the table. Are you being honest with yourself and with your partner? Are you communicating your needs clearly? Are you taking responsibility for your own happiness? The Hermit is inviting you to go deep, to explore your own inner landscape, and to bring that wisdom back into your relationship. It's like, the more you understand yourself, the better you'll be able to understand your partner and create a truly fulfilling connection. And you know, it could even be about seeking guidance from a mentor or a therapist. Like, maybe you're feeling a little lost or confused about something in your relationship, and you need someone to help you see things more clearly. There's no shame in asking for help. Sometimes, an outside perspective can be incredibly valuable. They don't even need to be an expert. It could be talking to a friend you trust, someone who knows you well and can offer unbiased advice. I think the key thing here is to remember that the Hermit isn't about isolation. It's about introspection. It's not about shutting yourself off from the world. It's about taking the time to connect with your inner self so that you can show up more fully in the world. It's like, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? You need to fill yourself up first so that you have something to give. Think about it like this. You're a lighthouse. The sun is the bright, shining light that guides ships safely to shore. But the Hermit is the solid foundation that keeps the lighthouse standing strong, even during the fiercest storms. You need both the light and the foundation to be truly effective. And honestly, this card is so perfect with the Jasper star. Because balance, right? The Jasper star is all about finding that middle ground, that sweet spot where you can be both independent and connected. And the Hermit is helping you do that by encouraging you to go inward, to get clear on your own needs and desires, and to bring that wisdom back into your relationships. It could also mean that together you and your partner are entering a Hermit phase. Like, maybe you both feel the need to step back from social engagements, from the hustle and bustle of daily life, and just create a cozy, intimate space for yourselves. Maybe you start having more date nights at home, cooking together, watching movies, and just enjoying each other's company. Or maybe you decide to take a digital detox together, turning off your phones and laptops and just being present with each other. It's funny, I'm getting the image of building a little fort. Remember when you were a kid and you'd build a fort out of blankets and pillows? It was like your own little world, where you could escape from everything and just be yourself. That's kind of what the Hermit is inviting you to do in your relationship. Create a safe, cozy space where you can both be yourselves, where you can connect on a deeper level, and where you can just relax and recharge. The Hermit can also represent becoming a wise guide for your partner, or them becoming that for you. You know, like, you've both been through some stuff, you've learned some lessons, and now you're in a position to share that wisdom with each other. Maybe you start having deeper conversations about your past experiences, your hopes and dreams, and your fears and insecurities. Maybe you start offering each other advice and support, helping each other navigate the challenges of life. It's like you become each other's mentors, each other's spiritual guides. And that can be such a beautiful and powerful thing. It can create a bond that is unbreakable, a connection that is based on mutual respect, understanding, and love. But remember, it has to be balanced. You can't become too dependent on each other for guidance, or you risk losing your own sense of self. It's about offering support and wisdom, not taking over their journey. Okay, I'm also getting a sense that this could be about redefining what togetherness means to you. Like, maybe you've been operating under some outdated assumptions about what a relationship should look like. Maybe you think you need to spend every waking moment together, or maybe you think you need to have the same hobbies and interests. The Hermit is inviting you to question those assumptions, to ask yourself, what does togetherness really mean to me? What makes me feel connected to my partner? How can we create a relationship that honors both our individual needs and our shared desires? Maybe you realize that you don't need to spend every moment together to feel connected. Maybe you realize that it's okay to have different hobbies and interests. Maybe you even realize that it's healthy to have separate friends and social lives. The key thing is to create a relationship that works for both of you, a relationship that feels authentic and fulfilling. And that might mean breaking some rules, challenging some norms, and redefining what togetherness means. And honestly, this all ties back to that balancing act we talked about with the Jasper star. It's about finding that perfect equilibrium between independence and togetherness, between giving and receiving, between light and shadow. The Hermit is just helping you fine-tune that balance to make sure you're creating a relationship that is truly harmonious. So, yeah, don't be afraid of the Hermit. Embrace the solitude. Embrace the introspection. And trust that this is all part of the process of creating a deeply fulfilling and meaningful relationship. Remember, even the sun needs to set sometimes so that the stars can shine. What a powerful card to appear right now. I am so curious what is coming up next. Okay, so we have the Chariot, wow. After that Hermit energy, like taking all that time to go inward, now it's like bam, we're moving forward. It's like you've been in the cave, you've gotten all the wisdom, and now you're coming out ready to, like, conquer, you know? The Chariot is all about willpower, control, and direction. It's about taking charge and moving towards your goals. It's like you've harnessed all that sun energy, all that joy and clarity, and you're channeling it into focused action. So with the Hermit, there was that sense of, like, pausing, reflecting, maybe even feeling a little bit lost in your thoughts. But the Chariot is the opposite of that. It's about clarity of purpose, about knowing exactly what you want and going for it. It's like you've spent time figuring out what truly makes you happy, what aligns with your values, and now you're ready to create that in your life. And remember the Wheel of Fortune, the cycles. This feels like a new cycle beginning, you know? You've gone through the ups and downs, the twists and turns, and now you're at a point where you can steer your own course. Think about it like this. You've been learning to drive, right? The Hanged Man was like sitting in the passenger seat, letting someone else take the wheel. The Wheel of Fortune was like being on a winding road with lots of unexpected turns. The Sun was like finally seeing the open road ahead, feeling confident and excited. The Hermit was like pulling over to check the map, making sure you're going in the right direction. And now, the Chariot is like, you're finally behind the wheel, you know exactly where you want to go, and you're hitting the gas. Now, in the context of relationships, the Chariot can be really interesting. It can mean that you're ready to take control in a relationship, to be more assertive about your needs and desires. Maybe you've been holding back, afraid of rocking the boat, but now you're realizing that it's important to speak up and make sure your voice is heard. But it's also about balance, right? It's not about being a control freak or steamrolling your partner. It's about finding a way to assert your needs while still respecting their needs and opinions. It's like, are you both pulling in the same direction? Or are you fighting for the reins? Because if you're constantly battling for control, that's not a healthy relationship. It's about finding a way to work together, to support each other's goals, and to move forward as a united front. So what does it even mean to have the reins in a relationship? Does it mean making all the decisions? Does it mean dictating how things should be? I don't think so. I think it means taking responsibility, being proactive, and leading with love and compassion. Sometimes, it might mean taking the lead on planning a date night or initiating a difficult conversation. Other times, it might mean stepping back and letting your partner take the lead, trusting their judgment and supporting their decisions. It really depends on the situation and the dynamics of your relationship. I think what's really important here is to avoid power struggles. Relationships aren't about winning or losing. They're about collaboration and compromise. It's about finding solutions that work for both of you, even if it means sacrificing some of your own desires. Like, when is it healthy to assert control, and when is it better to relinquish it? That's the million-dollar question, right? I think it comes down to intention. If your intention is to manipulate or dominate, that's never healthy. But if your intention is to protect, support, or guide, then it can be a positive thing. For example, maybe your partner is going through a tough time, feeling lost and overwhelmed. In that situation, it might be loving to step in and offer guidance, to help them find their way back on track. But you have to be careful not to become a rescuer, enabling their dependence on you. It's about empowering them to find their own strength, not taking it away from them. What about those independence issues, though? Where does that fit in? Maybe the Chariot is showing up because one of you is, like, way too independent, right? Refusing to rely on the other person, always wanting to do things your own way. That can create an imbalance in the relationship, making the other person feel unneeded or unappreciated. It's about finding a way to balance your need for independence with your desire for connection. And it can go the other way, too. Maybe one of you is too dependent, always relying on the other person to make decisions or take care of you. That can be draining for the other person, creating a sense of resentment. It's about finding a way to develop your own sense of self, to stand on your own 2 feet, while still being able to ask for help when you need it. But also, the Chariot isn't just about external control, it's about internal strength, right? It's about harnessing your inner willpower and self-mastery. This card is about recognizing your own power and using it wisely. It's about knowing what you want and having the courage to go after it. This inner strength can have a huge impact on your relationships. When you're confident and secure in yourself, you're better able to communicate your needs, set healthy boundaries, and navigate conflict. You're not afraid to be vulnerable, but you're also not afraid to stand your ground. It's like, when you own your desires and needs, you're less likely to fall into patterns of codependency or manipulation. You're not looking for someone else to complete you, you're looking for someone to share your life with. You're not trying to control them, you're trying to connect with them. The inner resolve that the Chariot embodies also influences the balance of power in the relationship. If you know who you are and what you want, you're less likely to be swayed by your partner's opinions or desires. You're able to maintain your own sense of self, even when you're in a close relationship. Imagine a scenario. You and your partner have different ideas about how to spend your vacation. They want to go to a fancy resort, but you want to go camping in the wilderness. In the past, you might have just gone along with their plan, even though it wasn't what you really wanted. But with the Chariot energy, you're able to stand your ground. You can say, I understand that you want to go to a resort, but I'm really craving a camping trip. It's important to me to connect with nature and get away from the city. Can we find a compromise that works for both of us? And you're able to do that from a place of inner strength, not from a place of defensiveness or resentment. And of course, we have to bring it back to the Jasper star, right? Because this crystal is all about balance. The Chariot's need for control can easily become unbalanced if it's not tempered with compassion and understanding. It's about finding that sweet spot where you can be assertive without being aggressive, where you can lead without being controlling, and where you can honor your own needs without neglecting the needs of your partner. So, with all these cards together, you've got this incredible potential for creating a relationship that is both passionate and harmonious. The Hanged Man taught you to see things from a different perspective. The Wheel of Fortune brought change and excitement. The Sun radiated joy and clarity. The Hermit encouraged introspection and self-discovery. And now the Chariot is empowering you to take action and create the relationship you truly desire. It's like you've got all the pieces of the puzzle. Now it's just a matter of putting them together in a way that feels authentic and balanced. You know, harnessing the will of the Chariot, but grounding it in the self-awareness of the Hermit and fueling it with the joy of the Sun. This balance, this dance between independence and togetherness, that's what it's all about, right? How do you stay true to yourself while also being deeply connected to another person? How do you create a relationship that supports both your individual growth and your shared journey? I wonder what the final card will reveal about all this. Okay, so, oh my gosh, the world. After all of that, after the Chariot, we pull the world. It's like you've reached the finish line, but in the best possible way, right? Because it's not really the end, it's more like the beginning of a new cycle, but from a place of total wholeness. This card, the world, it's all about completion, fulfillment, integration, and like honestly, just pure bliss. It's about having all the pieces of the puzzle finally come together and stepping into this amazing new chapter. I feel like with the world, you are recognizing that everything you have experienced, whether good or bad, has led you to this point, this place of total awareness and acceptance. You're no longer striving, you're just being, you know. You are embodying your authentic self and just radiating that out into the world. It's like you've climbed the highest mountain and you're looking out at the most incredible view, and you're just like, wow, I did it. You know, it's such a powerful feeling. I almost feel like you're about to level up, like in a video game, where you complete one level, and all of a sudden you are getting all these new skills and all this new wisdom. You are just ready for the next adventure, but from a place of knowing yourself deeply and trusting the universe. Now, how does this relate to relationships? Well, in the context of finding harmony between independence and togetherness, the world is saying that you've finally found that perfect balance. You're able to be your own person, to pursue your own passions, while also being deeply connected to someone else. You're not sacrificing your independence, and you're not losing yourself in the relationship. You're just whole, together, It's like you've created this beautiful dance where you both move independently and in sync. It's amazing, really. It could also mean that you're ready to take your relationship to the next level, whatever that means for you. Maybe it's moving in together, getting married, starting a family, or maybe it's just deepening your commitment to each other. The key thing is that you're both on the same page, you're both feeling aligned, and you're both ready to embark on this new adventure together. I feel like if you're single, this could mean that you're about to meet someone who completely changes your world, someone who just gets you on a soul level. It's like you've been preparing for this person your whole life, and now they're finally here. And it's not just about romantic relationships either, right? This could also be about friendships or family relationships. Maybe you're about to reconnect with someone who you've lost touch with, or maybe you're about to forge a new connection that feels incredibly meaningful. It's like the universe is bringing people into your life who are aligned with your highest good and who are going to support you on your journey. The world also brings a sense of travel, like literally traveling the world. Maybe you and your partner decide to take a trip together to explore new cultures and to create lasting memories. Or maybe you decide to move to a new city or country to start a new chapter in your lives. It's like you're both ready to break free from your comfort zones and to embrace the unknown. I get the sense that you're learning that home is not a place, it's a feeling. Like, it's about being with the people you love, wherever you are. The world is about expanding your horizons, both literally and figuratively. It's about seeing the interconnectedness of all things and embracing the diversity of life. I feel like with the world, you are realizing how all of those previous cards have led you to this point, right? The Hanged Man, that period of waiting and surrender, it was necessary for you to shift your perspective and to get clear on what you truly wanted. The Wheel of Fortune, all those changes and unexpected twists, they were preparing you for this new cycle, this new level of awareness. The Sun, that pure joy and happiness, it was a reminder that you are worthy of love and abundance. The Hermit, that time of introspection and self-discovery, it helped you connect with your inner wisdom and to bring that wisdom into your relationships. And the Chariot, that willpower and determination, it empowered you to take action and to create the life you truly desired. It's like each card was a stepping stone on your path, and now you've reached the summit. And honestly, you couldn't have gotten here without all of them. It's also like a dance between the masculine and feminine energies, right? The Chariot is that strong, assertive, masculine energy, taking control and moving forward. The Hermit is that soft, receptive, feminine energy, going inward and connecting with your intuition. You need both of those energies to be in balance to truly reach the world, to truly feel whole. I keep seeing a graduation. It's like you have completed a major course in life, relationships, and self-love, and you are graduating with honors. You are ready to take all of that knowledge and wisdom and apply it to the next phase of your journey. And this graduation brings a sense of freedom, freedom from limiting beliefs, freedom from past traumas, and freedom from societal expectations. You are finally free to be yourself, to live your life on your own terms, and to create a relationship that is authentic and fulfilling. You know, I think so many times people are searching for some kind of external validation of completion, but the world is teaching you that that validation comes from within. It's like You don't need anyone else to tell you that you're worthy, that you're enough, that you've made it. You already know it. It's like you have that inner knowing, that unwavering belief in yourself, and that's what allows you to step into this new chapter with confidence and grace. Bringing it back to the Jasper star, the crystal of balance, I think the world is the ultimate expression of that, right? It's about finding that perfect equilibrium in all areas of your life, between independence and togetherness, between work and play, between giving and receiving. It's about creating a life that feels sustainable, a life that nourishes your soul, and a life that allows you to thrive. It's almost like the Jasper star's energy has been woven throughout this entire journey, guiding you towards this place of wholeness. I feel like you can almost physically feel that balance now. Like, when you're standing on one foot and you're trying to balance and you're wobbling all over the place. But then, finally, you find that center of gravity and you're able to stand tall and steady. That's what the world feels like. It's like you've finally found that center of gravity in your life, and you're able to navigate whatever comes your way with grace and ease. Now, I don't want to paint this picture that everything is going to be perfect from now on. I mean, life is still life, right? There are going to be challenges, there are going to be ups and downs, but the world is giving you the tools and the wisdom to navigate those challenges with more resilience and more self-awareness. It's like you're not afraid of the storms anymore, because you know that you can weather them. I think one thing to watch out for is complacency. It's easy to get comfortable when things are going well, to just sit back and relax. But the world is also an invitation to keep growing, to keep learning, and to keep expanding your horizons. It's about not getting stuck in your comfort zone and continuing to push yourself to reach your full potential. And also, be careful of thinking you are somehow done. You are not. You are a constantly evolving human. It's tempting to think, okay, great, I'm complete, I'm amazing, but remember that one last card pull can shine light on something really important still. Okay, don't get cocky. So yeah, the world is an incredible card to pull, a really amazing sign that you're on the right path and that you're creating a life that is truly aligned with your soul's purpose. But it's also a reminder that the journey is never really over, and that there's always more to explore, more to learn, and more to become. I am so excited to see what that final card has to say about all of this. Okay, so after that amazing high of the world, like feeling that sense of completion and wholeness, we pull justice. And it's interesting because it's like, okay, everything feels complete, but is it really balanced, Is everything truly fair and aligned? This card is coming in to make sure of it, I think. So justice, at its core, is about truth, fairness, and accountability. It's about seeing things as they really are, without rose-colored glasses or wishful thinking, This card asks you to take an objective look at a situation and weigh all the evidence before making a decision. It's about cause and effect, about understanding that your actions have consequences, both good and bad. So, I think it's important to note justice isn't always sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes, it can be a tough card because it forces you to confront uncomfortable truths, to take responsibility for your mistakes, and to make difficult choices. It can feel like a reality check after all that positivity, which could be jarring. It might highlight imbalances you've been avoiding or sweep under the rug, But ultimately, justice is a card of integrity, right? It's about living in alignment with your values and striving to create a world that is fair and just. It's about standing up for what you believe in, even when it's not easy, and about holding yourself and others accountable for their actions. A good question to ask yourself when this card shows up is, am I being honest with myself and with others? Now, in the context of relationships and finding that balance between independence and togetherness, justice brings a really interesting layer. It makes me wonder if there's some area where things aren't quite equitable, Like, is one person giving more than the other? Is someone sacrificing their needs for the sake of the relationship? Or maybe there are unresolved issues from the past that are still affecting the present. Justice is asking you to examine these dynamics and to create a relationship that is based on mutual respect, fairness, and honesty. I feel like justice might also be showing up because it's time to set some clear boundaries, too. You know, boundaries are so important for maintaining healthy relationships, but they can be tricky to establish and enforce. Justice is like, okay, where are your boundaries being crossed? Where are you allowing yourself to be taken advantage of? It's about taking a stand for yourself and saying, this is what I'm willing to accept, and this is what I'm not. And that can be really empowering, but it can also be scary, especially if you're used to being a people-pleaser or avoiding conflict. It is really forcing you to decide what is truly important to you. It makes me also wonder about legal agreements. Are there contracts or commitments that need to be reevaluated, you know? Leases, business deals, other formal agreements. This card is all about making sure everything is above board and fair for everyone involved. I'm even getting the sense it could literally be about marriage or divorce, although that may be a bit of a leap. You know, are you ready to make a formal commitment, or is it time to fairly disentangle? Let's think through some specific scenarios. What if you're the one who's been giving too much in the relationship? What if you've been constantly putting your partner's needs before your own, sacrificing your dreams and desires for their sake? Justice is saying, okay, it's time to reclaim your power. It's time to start prioritizing yourself and honoring your own needs. This might mean having a difficult conversation with your partner, expressing your feelings, and setting some new boundaries. It might also mean taking some time for yourself, pursuing your own interests, and rediscovering your own identity. I think this scenario especially could be related to those concepts we talked about earlier with the hermit, right? It's about finding yourself and what is most important to you. On the flip side, what if you're the one who's been taking too much? What if you've been relying on your partner to take care of you, neglecting your own responsibilities and taking them for granted? Justice is saying, okay, it's time to step up. It's time to start taking responsibility for your own life and contributing to the relationship in a meaningful way. This might mean getting a job, doing more around the house, or simply being more supportive and appreciative of your partner. It's about recognizing the imbalance in the relationship and taking steps to correct it. Or maybe it's about an imbalance in how you view yourself versus how you view your partner. Are you being too hard on yourself while putting them on a pedestal? Or vice versa. Maybe there's some resentment brewing under the surface because of a perceived unfairness, you know. One person feels like they're doing all the work, carrying all the emotional weight, or making all the sacrifices. Justice is saying, okay, let's bring this out into the open. Let's talk about it honestly and see if we can find a way to redistribute the load. This might involve some negotiation, some compromise, and some willingness to see things from the other person's perspective. It's about creating a partnership where both people feel valued, respected, and supported. It's like, how much are you willing to compromise, and at what point do you need to stand your ground? That's a big question with justice. I also think, what is the fairest way forward for both of you? Another possibility is that justice is showing up to highlight a pattern of unhealthy behavior in the relationship, you know. Maybe there's a cycle of arguing, making up, and then repeating the same patterns over and over again. Or maybe there's a pattern of one person being controlling and the other person being passive-aggressive. Justice is saying, okay, it's time to break this cycle. It's time to recognize the patterns and to take steps to change them. This might involve seeking therapy, reading self-help books, or simply becoming more aware of your own behavior and how it's affecting the relationship. Or maybe it is about making the tough decision to end the relationship if it is truly unhealthy. That is definitely a possibility with this card. Are you staying because it's comfortable, not because it's right? Thinking about how justice impacts the previous cards. With the Hanged Man, it's like, okay, you've been waiting and surrendering, but have you been doing it from a place of truth? Are you being honest with yourself about what you really want and need? Or are you just passively accepting whatever comes your way? With the Wheel of Fortune, it's like, okay, things are changing, but are they changing in a fair and just way? Are you making decisions that are aligned with your values, or are you just going along for the ride? With the sun, it's like, okay, you're feeling joyful and abundant, but are you sharing that joy with others? Are you being generous and compassionate, or are you just hoarding all the good stuff for yourself? With the hermit, it's like, okay, you're taking time for introspection, but are you being honest with yourself about your flaws and your shadow side? Are you willing to confront the uncomfortable truths about yourself? With the chariot, it's like, okay, you're taking control and moving forward, but are you doing it in a way that is fair and respectful of others? Are you considering the consequences of your actions? And with the world, it's like, okay, you've reached a sense of completion and wholeness, but is it truly sustainable? Are you creating a life that is balanced and harmonious in all areas? I think that might be the biggest thing for you to ask yourself. And with the Jasper star, that balancing crystal, it's like justice is helping you fine-tune that balance even further, right? It's making sure that you're not just superficially balanced, but that you're truly aligned with your values and living a life that is fair and just. Okay, you've achieved this sense of wholeness and completion, but is it built on a solid foundation of integrity? Justice is here to make sure that it is. Are you sure it's balanced, or does it just feel balanced because you want it to? So, yeah, justice is a powerful card, and it can be a little intimidating. But it's ultimately a card of empowerment, right? It's about taking responsibility for your life, standing up for what you believe in, and creating a world that is fair and just, for yourself and for others. It is like time for a gut check. What an interesting card to pull at this point in the journey. It's making me really curious about what the final card will be. Okay, my friend, so after all of that, after that intense but amazing journey through all those cards, we land on strength. And honestly, I couldn't think of a more perfect card to wrap things up. Because, you might be thinking, okay, the world, that's the ultimate goal, right? Completion, wholeness, like, what could be better than that? But the thing is, getting to the world is one thing, but staying there, embodying that energy in your everyday life, that takes true strength. It takes a deep inner knowing, a quiet courage to keep showing up as your authentic self, even when things get tough, even when you're faced with challenges. Because let's be real, life isn't always sunshine and rainbows, right? Even after you've reached that sense of completion, there are still going to be bumps in the road. There are still going to be moments of doubt and uncertainty. And that's where strength comes in. This card isn't about, like, flexing your muscles or overpowering others. It's about inner fortitude. It's about finding that unwavering sense of self-belief, that quiet confidence that allows you to face anything that comes your way with grace and compassion. It's like, when you see someone who's been through a lot, who's faced adversity head-on, and they just have this incredible presence about them. This quiet strength that radiates from within. That's what this card is all about. It's about finding that same source of power within yourself. And I think it's so important to understand that strength isn't about being fearless, right? It's not about pretending that you're not scared or that you don't have doubts. It's about acknowledging those fears and doubts, but choosing to move forward anyway. It's about being vulnerable, about allowing yourself to feel the full range of human emotions, but not letting those emotions control you. It's like, when you're walking through a dark forest and you're scared of what might be lurking in the shadows. Strength isn't about pretending that the shadows aren't there. It's about taking a deep breath, trusting your intuition, and continuing to walk forward one step at a time. So, let's think about how this connects to all those other cards we pulled, right? With the Hanged Man, that period of waiting and surrender, strength is what allows you to trust the process, even when you don't understand what's happening. It's about having the faith that everything is unfolding exactly as it should be, and that you're learning valuable lessons along the way. It's like you're hanging upside down, seeing things from a different perspective, and strength is what keeps you from freaking out and just dropping to the ground, right? It allows you to stay present, to observe, and to learn from the experience. And then with the Wheel of Fortune, with all those changes and unexpected twists, strength is what helps you to adapt and to embrace the unknown. It's about knowing that life is cyclical, that there are going to be ups and downs, but that you have the inner resilience to weather any storm. It's like You're on that roller coaster, right? And strength is what keeps you from screaming and closing your eyes the whole time. It allows you to enjoy the ride, to embrace the thrill, and to trust that you're going to come out on the other side stronger and wiser. And then with the sun, with all that joy and happiness, strength is what allows you to truly embody that light and to share it with the world. It's about knowing that you are worthy of love and abundance, and about having the courage to shine your light brightly, even when others might try to dim it. It's like you're radiating sunshine, and strength is what keeps you from getting burned out. It allows you to maintain your energy, to set healthy boundaries, and to protect your own inner flame. And then with the hermit, with all that introspection and self-discovery, strength is what allows you to be honest with yourself, to confront your shadow side, and to embrace your imperfections. It's about knowing that you're not perfect, but that you're still worthy of love and acceptance. It's like you're in that cave, exploring your inner landscape, and strength is what keeps you from getting lost in the darkness. It allows you to find your way back to the light, to integrate your shadow side, and to emerge stronger and more whole. And then with the chariot, with all that willpower and determination, strength is what allows you to channel that energy in a positive and constructive way. It's about knowing what you want and going for it, but doing so with compassion and integrity. It's like you're driving that chariot, and strength is what keeps you from crashing and burning. It allows you to stay focused, to maintain control, and to navigate the road ahead with skill and grace. And with justice, how do you make sure you are behaving with strength and not being a bully or steamrolling someone? And then with the world, with all that completion and wholeness, strength is what allows you to maintain that sense of balance and to continue growing and evolving. It's about knowing that the journey is never really over, and that there's always more to learn and more to experience. It's like you've reached the summit, and strength is what keeps you from falling off the edge. It allows you to enjoy the view, to celebrate your accomplishments, and to prepare for the next adventure. And then with justice, right, strength helps you act with integrity, even when it's hard. To stand up for what's right, even if it's unpopular. To be fair and honest, even when it means making sacrifices. It's like strength gives you the backbone to do what you know is right, even when every fiber of your being wants to take the easy way out. And honestly, that's where the Jasper star comes in, too, right? Because this crystal is all about balance, and strength is what allows you to maintain that balance, even when things get tough, even when you're pulled in different directions. It's about finding that center point within yourself, that unwavering sense of self-belief, that allows you to stay grounded and to make choices that are aligned with your values. It's like the Jasper star is reminding you that you already have everything you need to create a harmonious life, and strength is what empowers you to actually do it. It really amplifies that Jasper star energy, right? So, how do you actually cultivate this strength in your own life? Well, I think it starts with self-awareness, right? It starts with taking the time to understand your own strengths and weaknesses, your own values and beliefs. It's about knowing what you stand for, what you're willing to fight for, and what you're willing to let go of. It's that hermit energy coming back in always. It also involves practicing self-compassion, right? It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend. It's about forgiving yourself for your mistakes, celebrating your successes, and recognizing that you're doing the best you can. It's about remembering the sun. You deserve to feel that warmth, that joy. It means setting healthy boundaries, too. It's about knowing your limits and about saying no to things that drain your energy or compromise your values. It's about protecting your own time, your own space, and your own emotional well-being. And it's about speaking your truth, even when it's scary. It's about expressing your needs and desires clearly and assertively, without being afraid of judgment or rejection. It's about trusting your intuition, and about having the courage to follow your own path, even when it's different from what others expect. With strength, vulnerability isn't a weakness, it's a superpower. Think about it. Being truly open and honest with your partner, sharing your fears and insecurities, that takes incredible courage. But it's also what creates deep intimacy and connection. It's about showing up as your authentic self, flaws and all, and trusting that you'll be loved and accepted for who you are. And it's about being willing to support your partner in their own vulnerability, holding space for their emotions, and offering them unconditional love and acceptance. Think of the strength card, the imagery, right? The gentle tamming of the lion. It's not about overpowering, it's about connection, compassion. It's about understanding the wildness within yourself and within your partner, and finding a way to coexist peacefully and harmoniously. It's about recognizing that true strength comes not from dominance, but from empathy and understanding. And I think, ultimately, strength is about trust, right? It's about trusting yourself, trusting the universe, and trusting that everything is happening for a reason. It's about having faith that you have the inner resources to overcome any challenge, and that you're being guided and supported every step of the way. It's like you're walking along a path, and you can't see what's around the corner, but you trust that the path is leading you to where you need to be. I feel like this card is especially relevant to finding harmony between independence and togetherness, right? Because it takes strength to maintain your own sense of self within a relationship. To honor your own needs and desires, while also being deeply connected to another person. It's about not losing yourself in the relationship, but about using the relationship as a catalyst for personal growth and self-discovery. I think we saw that come up in so many cards. It is like, strength is that anchor that keeps you grounded, even when you're sailing on the sea of love. So, my friend, as we wrap up this reading, I just want to remind you that you already have everything you need within you to create an amazing life and a deeply fulfilling relationship. You have the wisdom of the hanged man, the adaptability of the wheel of fortune, the joy of the sun, the self-awareness of the hermit, the determination of the chariot, the wholeness of the world, the integrity of justice, and most importantly, the quiet courage of strength. It is all there inside of you. Just trust yourself, trust the process, and keep showing up as your authentic self, day after day. Because the world needs your light, your love, and your unique gifts. And remember that Jasper star, that symbol of balance, and let it guide you as you navigate the journey ahead. It has been such an honor to read for you today. I am so excited to see what amazing things you create.